Welcome to Stories for Sleep, a place where gentle stories are told to help the mind slow down and guide you into sleep naturally. Tonight we will explore something very familiar, yet deeply meaningful: the quiet, fascinating truths about chocolate. Not simply as a food, but as a long journey connected to memory, emotion, and a tender sense of comfort within the human soul. Perhaps each of us has tasted chocolate at some moment when we needed a little sweetness, when we wanted to reward ourselves or simply to feel a little better. From the perspective of Carl Jung, the things that make us feel warm often carry deep symbols of safety and memory. And chocolate, with its soft aroma and slow melting sensation, can become a gentle bridge that brings the mind back to a peaceful state. If you find that these slow, gentle stories help you relax, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next soothing journeys with Stories for Sleep. And now allow yourself to soften just a little. We will begin the first story. There are nights when all the sounds begin to fade, and the light in the room grows softer, and our minds start to wander more. Small thoughts, fleeting memories, unnamed feelings, all appear at once, making it harder than we expect to fall asleep. Perhaps we have all felt this before. The body is tired, but the mind is still awake. And in moments like these, what we sometimes need is not to try to sleep, but to listen to a gentle story, so the soul can slowly settle. Tonight we will begin a very slow, very quiet journey through something familiar that almost everyone has tasted: chocolate. But this is not just a story about a sweet treat. From the perspective of Carl Jung, everything human beings love carries a deeper meaning, like a symbol of memory, emotion, and inner connection. And chocolate, with its warm fragrance and the way it melts slowly on the tongue, may be one of the gentlest symbols of all. Few people think that behind a small piece of chocolate lies a very long journey beginning in humid tropical forests, from cacao pods growing under sun and rain from the patient hands of farmers, from transformation, and from the delicate choices of human beings. And in the end, all of it comes together in a familiar taste we often experience for only a few brief minutes. But the interesting thing is that when we slow down and listen to the story behind it, chocolate is no longer just food. It becomes a doorway into memory, a scent that can evoke a sense of safety, a sweetness that softens the mind, a small experience that can return us to moments of peace that once existed. In this video, you do not need to learn anything. You do not need to remember anything. Just listen. Each small truth about chocolate will be told like a story, gently and slowly, so that your mind can gradually let go. And perhaps as the journey moves a little further, you will realize that it is the softness of the most familiar things that helps us fall asleep most easily. Part 1. Introduction. Chocolate is not just a sweet. When we think of chocolate, the first thing that often appears in the mind is the gentle sweetness on the tip of the tongue, the slow melting in the mouth, and a soft sense of comfort spreading through the body. It seems like nothing more than a small gift, a simple reward, something familiar we can hold in our hands and enjoy for a few moments. But if we pause for a moment, if we look a little deeper, we begin to see that chocolate is not just a sweet. It is a very long, very quiet journey. One that begins in distant tropical forests, where cacao trees grow in the shade beneath thick leaves and humid air. Carl Jung once said that the things people feel most connected to are never just material objects. They carry stories, memories, and layers of meaning deep within the soul that we sometimes do not even notice. Chocolate is like that. It does not begin in a factory. It does not begin as a carefully wrapped bar. It begins with a tree, with a small flower, with a fruit that grows slowly, nourished by rain, by sunlight, by soil, by time. That journey stretches across many months, many seasons. The cacao pods slowly ripen in the quiet of nature. No loud sounds, no rushing, only a slow process of growth, like the way all life in this world unfolds. And then, when the time comes, human beings step into that journey, hands picking each fruit one by one. Small choices, gentle decisions, careful movements. There is something very deep in this image. Chocolate does not become chocolate on its own. It is the result of biology, of weather, of microorganisms, of small changes in air and soil, and of patient human care. Each cacao pod grows under its own conditions. Each rain, each period of sun, each small shift in temperature leaves its mark inside the beans. And when those beans are harvested, another journey begins. They are fermented, dried, roasted, ground, transformed. Throughout this process, tiny microorganisms quietly do their work. They change the flavor. They create new compounds. They help shape the aroma we recognize from the very first moment. Jung believed that every process of transformation carries a deep symbolic meaning. A cacao bean before becoming chocolate must go through many changes. It does not remain in its original form. It is transformed, softened, warmed, and within that transformation something new is born. Perhaps human beings are the same. Life does not keep us in one state forever. We move through time. We change. We learn to adapt. We carry the marks of the environments we have lived in, the things we have experienced, the people we have met, and little by little we become the version of ourselves that exists now. Chocolate, in a very gentle way, carries the image of that transformation. From a fruit growing on a tree, through many processes, it becomes something soft, fragrant, warm, and close to human life. When we hold a piece of chocolate in our hand, we do not see the forest where it began. We do not see the rains that nourished it. We do not see the microorganisms that shaped its flavor. We do not see the hands that selected, cared, and waited. But all of those things are there. A long journey condensed into a very small moment. And perhaps when we realize that, we begin to see everything more slowly, not just chocolate, but life. Jung believed that when people begin to notice small things, the mind softens. When we recognize that everything has a story behind it, we are no longer in such a hurry. We begin to listen, to feel, to stay a little longer in the present. Chocolate, with its familiar taste, can become a gentle doorway into that state. Imagine a very slow moment. You hold a piece of chocolate. You do not need to eat it right away. Just hold it. Feel its smoothness. Feel its gentle warmth. And know that inside that small piece is a very long journey that has unfolded in silence. From the tropical forest, from the soil, from the rain, from the sunlight, from microorganisms, from human hands. All of it coming together to create a small experience we often consider ordinary. And perhaps when we realize that this ordinary thing is not simple at all, the mind begins to slow down a little. Night is a time when people listen most easily, when the sounds of the day fade away, when the light grows softer, when the body begins to grow tired, when thoughts begin to soften. That is when gentle stories can touch something very deep inside. The story of chocolate is not just a story about sweetness. It is a story about a journey, about patience, about the connection between nature and human beings. And as we listen to it in the quiet, the mind begins to follow its slow rhythm. There is no need to understand everything. There is no need to remember. Just allow the image of a distant forest to appear somewhere in the mind. Cacao trees standing quietly, fruits growing slowly, rainy seasons passing, sunny seasons returning, everything unfolding without hurry. And then human beings enter the journey with gentle care. Each fruit picked, each bean selected, each step carried out like a series of slow, steady, repeating movements. Jung once said that repetition can bring a sense of safety. When we see a process unfolding slowly and steadily, the mind begins to feel more stable. Nothing sudden, nothing rushed, only time passing gently. And perhaps when we think of chocolate in this way, it is no longer just a food. It becomes a soft story, a long journey told through flavor, a symbol of natural transformation in life. That is also how we begin to enter a state of relaxation. There is nothing special you need to do. Just listen. Just imagine a forest, a tree, a cacao fruit, a small bean, a long journey, and at last a quiet moment when everything comes to rest in peace. And in that slowness, the mind begins to loosen gently. And as we stay with that image a little longer, we begin to realize that the journey of chocolate is not only the story of a flavor, but also the story of slowness. In the modern world, everything moves quickly. We eat quickly, we think quickly, we live quickly. But chocolate carries a completely different rhythm, a rhythm that is slow, deep, and patient. A cacao tree cannot grow in a single day. A fruit cannot ripen in a week. A bean cannot become chocolate instantly. Everything needs time. And perhaps as we listen to this story at night, some part of the mind remembers that we too do not need to rush, that everything in life has its own rhythm, that some things can only form when we allow time to pass naturally. Carl Jung once said that true human growth always happens in silence, not in grand moments, but in very small changes we hardly notice. Like the way a cacao bean slowly transforms during fermentation in the heat of roasting in the quiet alchemy of time and warmth, there is a gentle beauty in that transformation. A small bean becomes softer, a fragrance begins to appear, a bitterness slowly turns deep and warm. Nothing happens suddenly. Everything unfolds little by little, and that slow rhythm can help the mind soften when night arrives. As you listen, you do not need to picture everything clearly. There is no need to see each forest or each cacao fruit. Just feel a gentle flow, a long journey happening somewhere in the world, far away, slow and quiet. And while that journey continues, you are here in a moment of your own, your body growing a little heavier, your breath becoming a little steadier, your thoughts no longer as sharp as before. Just as chocolate melts slowly when it meets warmth, the tensions of the day can also melt away very slowly, very gently. There is no need to try to let go. There is no need to try to forget. Just listen to the story as if listening to something familiar and kind. And in the repetition of these slow images, the forest, the tree, the cacao fruit, the patient hands, the mind begins to find a deep sense of safety, a feeling that everything is in its place. A feeling that nothing needs to be rushed anymore. And within that slowing relaxation begins to appear naturally softly, as if you are gradually stepping into a quiet space without effort. Part 2. The origin chocolate begins from a fruit. If we peruse, travel back along the journey of chocolate, moving far away from carefully wrapped bars, away from bright shops, away from the familiar sweetness on the tongue. We arrive somewhere very different, a humid tropical forest where there is no scent of sugar, no taste of milk, no sign at all of the sweet treat. We know there chocolate does not yet exist. There is only a tree, a modest tree growing quietly in the shade, and on its trunk, cacao pods hang silently, like small lanterns of nature. Chocolate truly begins from a fruit like this. Not from a factory, not from a craftsman's hands, not from a recipe, but from a simple form of life. A fruit growing from the trunk, slowly becoming larger with time, nourished by the soil, the rain, and the sunlight filtering through leaves. Carl Jung once said that every deep symbol in human life begins from something very primal, a seed, a tree, a cycle of life. And the cacao fruit, before becoming chocolate, is part of that natural cycle. From a distance, the cacao fruit looks nothing like food. Its shell is thick, its surface is rough, its color changes as it matures. Inside are small beans wrapped in white pulp. There is no deep sweetness like chocolate, no aroma like we expect. It is simply a part of nature existing like any other plant. And inside that fruit are cacao beans, living seeds. This carries a very special meaning. A seed always holds the potential to become a new tree. It is not just material. It is the continuation of life. It is possibility. It is a beginning. And when we realize that chocolate begins from a living seed, we begin to see it a little differently. Not as something created from the start, but as something that has passed through many transformations. A cacao bean, while still inside the fruit, does not yet carry the taste of chocolate. It needs time. It must be separated, fermented, dried, roasted, ground. Each step is a change. Jung once said that transformation is a central part of life. Nothing remains the same forever. Everything shifts, and within that shifting, new things are formed. A cacao bean does not become chocolate immediately. It must pass through many stages, just as a person passes through many experiences to become who they are. Some changes happen in silence. Some transformations unfold unseen. But over time, everything becomes different. The flavor of chocolate does not exist inside the cacao bean from the beginning. It is shaped by human choices and by time. The way the beans are fermented, the way they are dried, the way they are roasted. Each small decision leaves a mark. A small change in temperature, a slight difference in time, a different way of handling. All of it contributes to the final flavor. And in some way, this is very much like human life. Jung believed that human beings are not born with a fully formed soul. We begin like seeds. Then we move through time, through choices, through changes, and gradually our personality, our emotions, and our way of seeing the world take shape. Not everything is there from the beginning. Many things are formed through small experiences. Chocolate is the same. A cacao bean is only a beginning. It carries no sweetness, it carries no softness, but it holds the potential to become all of those things. And through patience, care, and time, those possibilities slowly appear. There is a gentle beauty in realizing that the flavor we love is not something that existed from the start. It is the result of many slow steps, from a fruit on a tree to a seed, from a seed to quiet transformations, from transformation to flavor. A long journey but never rushed. As you listen to this story at night, you may begin to feel something very soft, a sense that everything needs time to become itself. You do not need to become anything immediately. You do not need to understand everything right now. Just as a cacao bean needs time to become chocolate, human beings also need time to grow, to change, to find their own shape. Jung called this the journey of becoming the self, a long, slow, natural process. No one forces a seed to sprout faster. No one forces a fruit to ripen early. Everything unfolds in its own rhythm. And as we think of chocolate as part of that journey, we begin to feel the slowness of nature, a slowness that is deep and quiet. A tree standing through rain and sun, fruits slowly growing, seeds resting inside, everything happening without hurry. And perhaps as the mind listens to this story, it begins to follow that slow rhythm. Thoughts no longer racing, emotions no longer rising strongly. Only a gentle flow of images and feelings remains. A cacao fruit hanging quietly on the trunk, a seed resting in the dark, a journey waiting for time to do its work. There is nothing to push, nothing to force. And in this moment, you do not need to try to sleep. There is nothing special you need to do. Just stay there, listening to the story of a seed slowly becoming something else. Because sometimes, simply listening to slow journeys like this helps the mind loosen, helps the body remember that everything can happen gradually, that nothing needs to be rushed. Just as chocolate begins from a fruit, the journey into sleep also begins from something very small, a moment when you allow yourself to slow down, soften, and let time gently carry you into quiet. And as we continue to hold the image of a cacao seed resting inside the fruit, we can feel a deep stillness. A seed always carries a silent promise. It is not yet a tree. It does not yet hold the shape of the future, but it contains the possibility of becoming something much greater. Carl Jung once said that inside each person, there is a seed like that, a hidden part waiting for time, experience, and growth to slowly reveal it. Not everything we will become can be seen at the beginning. Just as the flavor of chocolate is not present inside the cacao bean, many qualities within us also need years to be nurtured. Some things only appear after we have lived long enough. Some parts of the soul only open when we are patient. A cacao bean, when first taken from the fruit, still carries the scent of earth, of trees, of raw nature. It does not yet have the sweet fragrance we recognize, and that is what makes the journey so special. It shows that beauty is not always present from the start. Sometimes it is formed slowly through gentle changes we hardly notice. Those who make chocolate understand this well. They do not rush. They know each step needs time. Each stage needs attention. And if things move too fast, the flavor will not have time to form. It is a quiet reminder that not everything good comes at once. Human life is the same. There are times when we feel we are still in the middle of a journey, not fully knowing who we are, not sure where we are going. But like a cacao bean, quietly transforming changes are also unfolding inside us, little by little. Jung called this the process of inner growth, a long, slow journey where a person gradually becomes themselves without force. As you listen to this story tonight, you may also be in a gentle phase of that transformation. There is no need to notice it. No need to understand it clearly. Inside you, things are slowly arranging themselves, just as a cacao bean slowly becomes part of chocolate. There is nothing that needs to be rushed, nothing that needs to be perfect right now. Only time. And that thought can bring a soft sense of comfort, that you do not need to hurry with your life. That just as the flavor of chocolate forms step by step, you too are growing in your own rhythm. In the quiet of the night, allow the image of a forest to appear gently. Cacao trees standing still, fruits hanging quietly, seeds resting deep inside, waiting for time to do its work. And perhaps if your mind stays with that image long enough, it will begin to slow down, to soften, and gradually, like a seed resting in the earth, you too may drift into a deep and natural rest. Part 3. The Science of Melting and Sensation. There is a very special moment when a piece of chocolate touches the tip of the tongue. It does not break apart like a cookie, nor does it dissolve quickly like sugar. Instead, it begins to soften, slowly, gently, almost as if it is listening to the warmth of the body before it changes. The sensation is delicate, very light, and it seems almost designed to fit perfectly with the human body. What is fascinating is that chocolate melts at a temperature close to body temperature. Not too much higher, not too much lower. It rests at a point of balance where just a touch is enough to begin the softening. And it is this slow melting that creates the gentle comfort we often recognize from the very first moment we taste it. Carl Jung believed that the human body does not respond to the world only through reason, but through sensation. Things that are soft, warm, and slow often awaken a deep sense of safety. And chocolate, in a very natural way, touches that part of our experience. As it melts, we are not only tasting, we are sensing a change. Something solid becoming soft, something still becoming fluid. And in that moment, the mind begins to slow down, following the rhythm of the melting. There is nothing rushed, nothing sudden, only a process that is slow, steady, and gentle. As the chocolate begins to melt, the cocoa butter within it gradually releases its aroma. That scent does not appear all at once. It unfolds little by little, and in that unfolding, the experience deepens. We are no longer sensing only with taste, but also with smell. A warm, rounded, gentle fragrance begins to open like a very quiet doorway. Jung once said that scent has a direct path into the unconscious. It does not need thought. It does not need explanation. Its presence alone is enough to touch memories, emotions, and deep feelings within the soul. Perhaps that is why the smell of chocolate often brings something very familiar: a warm evening, a moment of rest, a feeling of giving oneself a small reward. Over time, these small memories are stored in the mind, and then when the scent returns, those feelings return with it softly. Science shows that when we taste chocolate, the brain quickly links it to comfort. Not because we consciously decide to feel that way, but because the body has learned it over time. Each time we enjoy chocolate in a peaceful moment, the brain remembers. Each time we feel at ease while tasting a small piece, the brain remembers again. Gradually, the moment the taste and scent appear, the brain begins to anticipate a feeling of safety. Carl Jung believed that human beings have the ability to create deep connections between sensation and emotion. An image, a sound, a scent can become a symbol of a state of mind, and chocolate, in a very gentle way, has become a symbol of comfort for many people. As it melts, we are not only tasting sweetness, we feel softness spreading, a sense that everything is slowing down a little. The rhythm of the moment shifts, and the body, even very subtly, begins to relax. Perhaps it is this slow melting that carries a rhythm very similar to sleep. Sleep does not come all at once. It arrives gradually, very slowly, very gently. Just as chocolate melts in the mouth, the mind also softens when we allow ourselves to rest. Thoughts that once felt rigid and sharp begin to blur. Strong emotions begin to settle. Jung once said that relaxation begins when we stop trying to control everything. When we allow ourselves to soften, like something melting in warmth, the mind begins to let go. The image of melting chocolate carries a deep symbol of that release. Something solid becoming soft, something holding its shape slowly dissolving. And within that process there is a feeling of safety. Nothing is being broken, nothing is being forced. Only a very natural change. As you listen to this story in the night, you can imagine that sensation. There is no need to hold real chocolate. Just think of the slow melting, the gentle warmth, the soft fragrance spreading. And as you imagine, your body begins to follow that feeling. Your shoulders may soften a little. Your breathing may slow slightly. Your thoughts may no longer feel as clear or sharp as before. Just as the brain has learned to link chocolate with comfort, your mind now may be linking the quiet of the night with a sense of safety. There is nothing you need to do. There is no need to try to sleep. Just remain there, in this gentle feeling. Jung believed that within every person, there is a deep capacity for self-healing. When we allow ourselves to slow down the body and mind naturally return to balance, just as chocolate melts at the warmth of the body, sleep arrives when everything becomes soft enough. And now, as you listen, you may be very close to that moment. A moment when nothing feels rigid anymore. Nothing feels tense. Only a very gentle softness remains, like a piece of chocolate slowly melting in warmth. And as we stay with this image of melting a little longer, we begin to realize that the feeling chocolate brings is not only in its sweetness, but in the quiet moment of transformation itself. Something solid becoming soft, then slowly disappearing into warmth. No sound, no breaking, only a very gentle, peaceful change. Carl Jung once said that the things that make people feel safe are often connected to warmth, softness, and repetition. When the body recognizes a familiar sensation, it begins to let go. When the mind recognizes a slow, steady rhythm, it no longer needs to stay alert. Chocolate melts with a rhythm that is very even, not too fast, not too slow, just enough to be felt. As the cocoa butter spreads slowly across the mouth, it carries layers of aroma. First a light warmth, then something deeper, richer, and gradually everything blends together like a soft flowing current. And in that moment we are not simply eating, we are experiencing. Over time, the brain has learned that experiences like this often come with relaxation. Perhaps a quiet evening, a short rest, a moment of rewarding oneself after a long day. These moments repeat often enough to become a memory of sensation. And then just the taste and scent of chocolate is enough for the brain to remember that state. Jung called this a symbolic association in the unconscious. A small physical experience can become a doorway into a mental feeling, not because we think about it, but because the body remembers. Perhaps that is why the sensation of chocolate melting in the mouth often makes us feel calmer in such a natural way. No explanation needed, no understanding required, just feeling. Like an ice cube slowly melting in warm water, like snow dissolving in the palm of a hand. Everything becomes softer, and when things become softer, the mind can let go more easily. Imagine that the thoughts in your mind could melt in the same way. There is no need to force them to disappear. Just allow them to soften, like a piece of chocolate dissolving in warmth, sharp edges becoming smooth, clear thoughts becoming gentler. There is no need to push them away. Just let them melt. Carl Jung believed that true release does not come from trying to eliminate thoughts, but from allowing them to change shape. When something becomes softer, it no longer holds us tightly. And now, as you lie quietly, your body may be entering that state, a gentle melting, your shoulders no longer as tense, your breath more even, your heartbeat slowing slightly. Just as chocolate melts at the warmth of the body, sleep arrives when everything inside you reaches a quiet point of balance. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to try. Just remain there in that softness. And perhaps, as you continue listening, you will feel yourself drifting into a deeper state where everything becomes very light, very slow, very gentle, like a quiet melting, unfolding, needing no effort, only time and warmth. Part 4. Memory, emotion, and the connection with scent. There are scents that do not exist only in the moment we sense them, but live on for a very long time in memory. Just a passing trace, a very soft fragrance, can bring us back to somewhere that once felt familiar. And the scent of chocolate, in a very gentle way, is often one of those scents. It is not only the smell of food, it carries a particular warmth, a feeling often connected to moments of rest, quiet evenings, and times when we gently rewarded ourselves after a long day. Perhaps a small piece of chocolate in childhood, a cup of hot cocoa on a cold night, a bar of chocolate shared during a close conversation. These memories, though small, remain deeply within us. Carl Jung once said that memory does not exist only in the mind, but also in sensation. A scent, a sound, a familiar taste can become a key that opens very deep doors in the unconscious. And sometimes we do not realize this until an old scent suddenly returns. The scent of chocolate has a special quality. It is not too strong, not too sharp. It is soft, warm, and round. When we smell it, we do not only recognize chocolate, we feel something familiar, a closeness, something almost like being gently held. Perhaps because many times before, that scent appeared in moments when we felt at ease. And over time, the brain began to form a connection, a bond between the scent and emotion. Jung called these connections emotional symbols in the unconscious. They do not need to be thought about. They do not need to be analyzed. Their presence alone is enough to awaken a feeling. The scent of chocolate can become such a gentle switch. Just a hint of it, and we may remember a warm afternoon, a familiar corner of home, a feeling of rest. We may not always remember the image clearly, but the feeling remains, soft, deep, and real. When someone holds a piece of chocolate, even before tasting it, they smell it, and in that moment the experience has already begun. Not from taste, but from memory. One part of the mind begins to search for familiar emotions. Another part begins to relax. And when the chocolate touches the tongue, taste and memory blend together. Not just sweetness, not just melting, but the feeling of something once close returning again. Jung believed that the deepest human experiences are often a combination of the present and the past. We never experience something completely new. We always feel it together with what came before. So when we taste chocolate, we are not only in this moment, we carry all the times we tasted it before, all the emotions connected to it, all the small memories that have quietly gathered over the years. Perhaps that is why chocolate often brings comfort, not because it is too sweet, not because it is too special, but because it is familiar. Familiarity brings safety. And when the mind feels safe, the body begins to relax. On quiet nights, when everything around us softens, a familiar scent can calm us very quickly. No reason needed, no thinking required. Just a gentle feeling, spreading, like returning to a known place after a long day. Imagine the scent of chocolate lightly filling the air. Not too strong, not too clear, just enough to notice. And with it, perhaps a small warmth appears inside. You may not remember exactly when you first felt this way, but the body remembers. The mind remembers. Jung said that the unconscious is like a very deep storehouse. Small experiences are kept there, and sometimes a very gentle signal is enough to bring them back. Scent is one such signal. So the experience of chocolate is not only about taste, it is a blending of many things: fragrance, memory, emotion, a feeling of being cared for, a feeling of rest, all of it coming together, creating a soft state within the mind. And that state is very close to the feeling just before sleep. As we begin to let go of the thoughts of the day, gentle memories often appear. Not stressful ones, but soft images, quiet moments, familiar things, a scent, a corner of a room, a warm yellow light, all very gentle. And in this moment, as you listen, your mind may also be slowing in this way. There is no need to try to remember anything. Just stay there, in the softness the story brings. Imagine that the scent of chocolate is somewhere very close. It does not have to be real, just an idea. And with it, a gentle feeling of safety begins to spread. A feeling like resting, like being held, like being in a familiar place. Jung believed that when people touch symbols of safety in the unconscious, they can enter a state of rest more easily. And perhaps for many people, chocolate has become one of those symbols, not because it is special, but because it is connected to soft moments in life. And when those moments return, even through a scent, the mind begins to relax, slow down, soften, and gradually, like a quiet stream of memory, you may feel yourself moving closer to a deep stillness. And as we stay with the thought of that scent a little longer, we may realize that memory does not always appear as clear images. Sometimes it is only a vague feeling, a warmth, a familiarity, a sense of having been there before. Carl Jung once said that some parts of the mind do not store memories in words or pictures, but in feelings. A scent can touch the deepest part of the unconscious, where old experiences still rest quietly, waiting to be awakened. The scent of chocolate carries a very special softness. It is not sharp like coffee, not fresh like fruit. It is warm, rounded, and deep, like a soft blanket on a cold evening. And perhaps that is why it easily connects with moments of rest. Maybe when you were young, someone gave you a piece of chocolate. Maybe it was a quiet evening when you sat alone and felt peaceful. Maybe it was a time you rewarded yourself after a long day. These small moments leave deep impressions, and over time the brain begins to connect that scent with the feeling of being cared for, comforted, and at rest. Jung called these emotional imprints experiences repeated enough to become part of the inner world. When we smell chocolate even briefly, that unconscious part may gently stir. No thinking required. No need to remember clearly. Just a soft feeling appearing. Perhaps a sense of safety. Perhaps a sense of familiarity. Perhaps a feeling of returning somewhere quiet. And that feeling makes the experience of chocolate much deeper than an ordinary food. We are not only tasting, we are touching memory. When taste and scent blend, the present and the past blend too. One part of you is here in this moment. Another part drifts gently through old memories, soft and faint. And this creates a very special state in the mind, a state where everything becomes slower, gentler, softer. Just as beautiful memories are never loud. They do not arrive forcefully. They come like a soft breeze passing by, then staying for a while. As you listen tonight, you may also be touching that kind of state. There is no need to remember anything specific. Just allow that familiar feeling to exist. Imagine the scent of chocolate spreading gently through the air. Not clear, not strong, just enough to notice. And with it, a feeling of safety slowly appearing. Your shoulders may be relaxing more. Your breath may be deeper. Your thoughts may no longer be racing, as if your mind is slowly returning to a very quiet place where gentle memories remain, asking for nothing, needing no explanation. Jung believed that when people touch memories that carry safety, the body naturally enters a state of rest. No force, no effort, just allowing yourself to remain in that feeling. And now, as you continue listening, you may feel yourself drifting deeper into the quiet, as if soft memories are gently surrounding you like a thin, warm blanket, enough to make you feel protected at rest and gradually, naturally moving closer to sleep. Part 5. Nature shapes flavor. If we look more deeply into the journey of chocolate, we begin to realize that its flavor is not created only by recipes or techniques, but by very natural things, by rain, by sunlight, by the warmth of the air, by the changing. A cacao tree does not live in a fixed environment. It grows within the constant movement of nature, and every small change in the world around it leaves a subtle mark inside the beans. Some years the rains come earlier. Some years the sun lingers a little longer. Some seasons are gentle with wind, others more humid. All of these things, even the smallest ones, affect the way the cacao tree grows. And over time, they quietly change the flavor of the beans we will taste later. Carl Jung once said that human beings do not exist separate from their environment. We are shaped by what surrounds us, the places we live, the time we pass through, the things we feel each day. And in the same way, a cacao bean carries the story of where it has lived. Different soil creates different flavors. Different rains create different tones. Different years leave different marks. Even in the same farm, among the same trees, the flavor of cacao is never exactly the same from year to year, because nature never repeats itself perfectly. It always changes, gently, slowly, but constantly. And it is this change that makes chocolate more alive than we realize. A bar of chocolate is not just a product, it is a trace of time. It carries the moisture of a passing rainy season. It carries the sun of a distant summer. It carries the breath of the earth, the air, the land where it began. Jung believed that time leaves its imprint on everything, on people, on memory, on the way we see the world. And when we understand this, we begin to see that nothing is fixed. Everything changes naturally. Chocolate, in a very quiet way, carries that story. No two harvests are ever completely the same. No 2 years ever perfectly repeat. And so, no two cacao beans carry exactly the same flavor. The differences may be very small, very difficult to notice, but they exist, and they are part of the journey. Just like the way each person carries the marks of the years they have lived. There are seasons in life that feel warm, seasons that feel quiet, times that feel gentle, times that feel full of change. All of these things, whether we notice or not, slowly shape who we are now. Jung called this the formation of the self, a long process in which a person is shaped by environment, by experience, by time. No one is exactly like another, because no one lives in the same conditions, the same rhythm, the same years. A cacao bean is the same. It carries the story of where it grew, of the soil, of the climate, of the seasons that passed. And when we taste chocolate, even if we cannot see these things, we are touching their traces. There is something deeply beautiful in that thought, that the flavor we sense is not only taste, it is time, it is nature, it is change. As you listen tonight, you can imagine a cacao field resting under the sky. The trees do not move, but around them time continues. Clouds pass, rain falls, sunlight shifts. The air becomes warmer, then cooler, day by day, month by month, year by year. And in that quiet, the cacao fruits slowly grow, carrying the imprint of everything that has happened. Nothing rushed, nothing needing to be perfect, only time doing its work. Perhaps when we think of this, the mind also begins to slow, because we begin to understand that everything is formed from very small, very slow changes, and we do not always need to control everything. Some things only need time to pass. Some things only need the environment to nurture them. Just as nature shapes the flavor of cacao, Jung believed that people too are nurtured by what surrounds them in ways we do not always notice. A quiet space can calm the mind. A slow rhythm of life can deepen our breath. A gentle story can soften our thoughts. And now as you listen, you may also be in a soft environment. The light may be dimmer, the sounds around you quieter, your body a little more tired. Everything is changing gently, like a season passing. And within that slow change, your mind is beginning to carry the imprint of quiet. Just as a cacao bean carries the imprint of rain and sun, you are carrying the imprint of this moment. A moment with no hurry. A moment very soft. A moment where you do not need to do anything at all. Just be there. And perhaps as you continue listening, you will feel yourself drifting into a deeper state where everything slows, softens, just as nature quietly shapes flavor over time, little by little, gently and calmly. And as we continue thinking about how nature quietly shapes flavor, we begin to notice something gentle yet deep. No season is the same as another, just as no moment in life ever truly repeats. One year may bring more rain. Another may be a little drier. One season may feel warm, another cool and gentle. The cacao tree cannot choose the conditions it lives in. It simply stands there quietly, receiving whatever nature brings. And all of it, even the smallest details, slowly enters the bean. Carl Jung once said that human beings live in a similar way. We grow in different environments, pass through different phases, and each experience leaves a small trace in the soul. Some traces are clear, others are very faint, only felt when we slow down enough. The cacao bean carries the imprint of rain, sun, soil, and time. Human beings carry the imprint of the years they have lived. There are joyful days, there are quiet days, there are times full of energy. There are moments when we only want to rest. All of it shapes who we are now. Just as a piece of chocolate carries the story of the environment where it was born, each of us carries the story of where we have lived, of what we have experienced, and sometimes the smallest things create the unique flavor of who we are. Jung called this the natural formation of the self, not through force, not through hurry, but through time, through slow changes we do not need to control. When we imagine a cacao field standing quietly through the years, we can feel a deep calm. The trees do not try to become anything else. They simply live through each season, each rain, each sunlight, and over time the flavor forms. No one is rushing, nothing needs to be hurried. Everything unfolds in its own rhythm, and perhaps as you listen tonight, some part of your mind begins to remember that rhythm again. The rhythm of nature, the rhythm of time, the rhythm of things that do not need to be forced. You do not need to become perfect today. You do not need to solve everything right now. Just as cacao needs a full season to develop its flavor, people also need time to grow, to change, to become gentler with themselves. In the quiet of the night, imagine a cacao garden resting under the sky. No noise, no hurry. Only a soft breeze passing, warm, gentle air, trees standing there carrying the story of many seasons. And as you listen, your mind may begin to resemble that scene, slower, calmer, softer. The thoughts of the day may still be there, but no longer as sharp. They are like clouds drifting by. No need to hold them. No need to push them away. Just let them pass. Just as nature quietly shapes the flavor of cacao over the years, your body is quietly entering rest moment by moment. Your breathing slows, your body grows a little heavier, your mind softens. And in that very gentle change, like a season slowly passing, you may feel yourself moving closer to a place of deep quiet, where there is no rush, no tension, only a soft stillness, enough for you to relax and slowly drift into sleep. Part 6. Harvesting the carefulness in every fruit. There is a very quiet moment in the journey of chocolate that we rarely think about. It is not when it is wrapped in foil, not when it rests on a store shelf, but a very early morning in cacao gardens when farmers walk slowly among the trees, observing each fruit one by one. The work of harvesting is not noisy. It is not hurried. It is simply a series of gentle, careful movements repeated day after day. Cacao pods do not ripen all at the same time. On the same tree, some fruits may already be ready to be picked while others are still green. That means the harvest cannot be done quickly or mechanically. It requires looking, touching, feeling, one fruit at a time. Carl Jung once said that sincere attention is a form of care. When a person places their mind into a small task, doing it slowly and carefully in that moment, they are living deeply in the present. And the work of harvesting cacao carries that kind of presence. Hands moving from tree to tree, eyes observing the color of each fruit, small decisions made quietly. Which pod is ready? Which one needs more time? No one is rushing. There is no pressure, only a gentle, patient process of choosing. In a way, the farmer becomes a guardian of flavor. They are the ones who decide which fruit will be taken, which will remain. And though it may seem simple, these small decisions shape everything that comes later. A pod picked at the right moment carries a fuller flavor. A pod left for a few more days may grow deeper, sweeter. Each choice, though small, leaves its mark. Jung believed that human life is also formed from such small decisions, not always from great turning points. Often, it is the simple actions repeated each day that slowly shape who we become. A gentle word, a small choice, a moment of patience. All of it gathers over time. The chocolate bar we hold later is not only the result of processing, it is the result of countless moments like these. Moments of observation, of selection, of pausing to see whether a fruit is ready. There is a deep beauty in that carefulness. Not perfection all at once, but care, little by little. When we think of this, we can imagine a very quiet morning, the sunlight still soft, the air cool and slightly damp, farmers walking slowly between rows of trees, speaking little, simply listening to nature and looking closely. Each cacao pod taken down is a decision, a small moment in a long chain of moments. Jung once said that people often overlook the value of small things. We tend to believe that only big events matter, but it is the small actions repeated with attention that create the deepest changes. Harvesting cacao is that kind of work. Not a single action, but thousands of small ones. Each fruit chosen at the right time, each step taken slowly, and over time all of it gathers, becoming part of the flavor. Perhaps each person's life is like that too. Your day is made of many small moments. A small choice in the morning, a passing thought in the afternoon, a gentle feeling in the evening. Nothing too large, but all of it contributes to the state you carry at the end of the day. Jung called these the quiet movements of the soul. Changes that do not happen suddenly but slowly through very small things we often do not notice. As you listen tonight, you may feel that slow rhythm. The rhythm of footsteps walking through a garden. The rhythm of observation. The rhythm of gentle decisions. There is nothing to hurry, nothing to rush, only one moment following another. Imagine someone holding a cacao pod in their hands, turning it gently, looking at its color, feeling its ripeness, then choosing to pick it. A very small action, yet part of a very long journey. And perhaps in this moment, you can also feel that carefulness within your own body, your breath moving in and out, steady and slow, your body gradually relaxing little by little. Just as a farmer patiently chooses each fruit, your body is moving through small steps to return to rest. There is no need to sleep right away. There is no need to try. Just relax a little more. Jung believed that when people allow themselves to slow down, they begin to notice what they once overlooked. Small sounds, gentle sensations, quiet moments. Harvesting cacao is a symbol of that kind of patience. A task that cannot be rushed, cannot be done carelessly. Every step requires attention. And perhaps when we think of that, the mind begins to learn how to slow down too. There is no need to solve everything at once. No need to think too much. Like a garden standing quietly in the night, everything moving very slowly, very gently. And in that stillness, the fruits ripen, the footsteps soften, and little by little, everything becomes calmer. Perhaps now, as you listen, your body is entering that rhythm. The rhythm of patience, the rhythm of small movements, the rhythm of letting go piece by piece. And just as a bar of chocolate is made from countless small decisions, sleep also arrives from countless small moments of release. Not suddenly, but gradually, little by little. And as we stay with the image of that harvest a little longer, we begin to see that carefulness is not only a skill, but a state of mind. The farmer does not only look with their eyes, they feel with experience, with patience gathered over many years. They know that each cacao pod ripens in its own time and that nothing can be forced to happen all at once. Some fruits need a few more days, some are ready now, and some are still waiting. Each decision to pick or leave is small yet deeply meaningful for the flavor that will come later. And it is a gentle reminder that sometimes knowing how to wait is the most important thing of all. Carl Jung once said, "The true growth always requires time and patience. Not everything can be hurried. Not everything can be finished at once. Some parts of us need time to ripen, like the cacao pods growing on the tree. And when we slow down enough to observe this process, we begin to understand that carefulness is not tension. It is a form of care, a form of presence. A farmer walking through the rows quietly, observing, almost as if listening to nature. No pressure, no rush, just step by step, decision by decision, very gently. That rhythm, if we stay with it long enough, can calm the mind. Imagine a quiet afternoon in a cacao garden. Warm air, soft light, the faint sound of leaves moving. Someone bends down and touches a ripe fruit. They cut it carefully, then move to the next. Everything unfolds slowly, steadily, like a repeating rhythm. Jung believed that repeated rhythms like this can bring a deep sense of peace. When we see something happening steadily, the mind begins to relax. There is no need to stay alert, no need to think too much, just a gentle repetition. And perhaps your body now is entering a similar rhythm. You're breathing more even, your shoulders more relaxed. The thoughts in your mind no longer moving as quickly. Just as each cacao pod is chosen with patience, your body is also moving step by step toward rest. No need to be fast, no need to be strong. Just little by little, a thought settles, a feeling softens, a part of the body releases. All are small decisions your body is making on its own, like a farmer choosing each fruit. Jung called this the natural process of inner adjustment. When not pushed, the human being naturally returns to balance. No effort needed, no control required, only allowing everything to slow. And perhaps in this moment, you are very close to that slow rhythm. A quiet garden, slow footsteps, gentle hands choosing, moments following one another in silence. Just as a bar of chocolate is formed from thousands of small choices, sleep also comes from very small changes in the body. Not all at once, but little by little. You do not need to do anything more. Just be there. Just relax. And like a fruit picked at the right moment, your body may also be reaching its own right moment, the moment when everything becomes soft, slow, and calm enough for you to gently drift into sleep. Part 7. Scent activates the mind. There are small moments in life when we react before we even realize it. A scent passes by, and in an instant, a familiar feeling appears. It may be comfort, a touch of warmth, or a quiet sense of anticipation. The scent of chocolate often carries that kind of response. Even before we see it, even before we taste it, just the aroma alone can gently shift the mind. This is not something unusual. The human brain is made to remember and to anticipate. When an experience repeats many times and is often connected with comfort, the brain learns to recognize the signs that come before it, and the scent of chocolate over time becomes one of those familiar signs. Just a light fragrance in the air, and the body begins to prepare, not with strong craving, but with a very gentle expectation. like hearing familiar footsteps and knowing that someone close is arriving. No thought required, just a natural response. Carl Jung once said that much of what we feel does not come from the conscious mind, but from the unconscious. The unconscious remembers experiences that are tied to emotion, and when a familiar signal appears, it awakens the feelings we once had. The scent of chocolate, with its warmth and fullness, is often connected with moments of comfort. Perhaps when we were resting, perhaps when we felt cared for, perhaps when we rewarded ourselves after a long day. These experiences repeat quietly, but enough to form a bond. So when the scent of chocolate appears, the brain begins to anticipate a reward. Not a large reward, just a gentle feeling it has known before. A sense of warmth, a sense of softness, a sense that everything is becoming a little lighter. And this happens even before we notice it. Jung called such responses the natural movements of the soul. They are not weakness, not a loss of control. They are the way human beings connect to what brings a feeling of safety. There is a deep gentleness in the way the body responds to a familiar scent. No thinking needed, no decision required, only a soft feeling appearing. When you smell chocolate, the brain does not think only of sweetness. It remembers the moments that came with it. Times when you paused, times when you rested, times when you felt at ease. And then the body begins to relax just a little. Your shoulders may soften, your breath may deepen slightly. It is a very natural response. Sometimes people wonder why just a scent can make them want to stop, to enjoy, to take a moment. But it is not weakness. It is the brain remembering what has brought comfort. Jung believed that human beings are always seeking balance. When a scent brings back a peaceful state, the body moves toward it. Not because we lack control, but because we are finding safety again. And chocolate, with its warm and gentle fragrance, often becomes a symbol of that. It is not only the smell of food, it is the smell of rest, the smell of reward, the smell of moments when nothing is required. And when that scent appears, the brain begins to open a door to that state. You may not be holding a piece of chocolate, but simply imagining its aroma can guide the mind in that direction. Jung once said that imagination has deep power. It can awaken real feelings, even when nothing is physically present. And so when we think of the scent of chocolate, we may feel a little warmth, a little comfort, as if we were in a quiet moment. And this anticipation, this gentle expectation softens the mind. Nothing tense, nothing rushed, only a slow feeling spreading. Imagine the scent of chocolate drifting softly through the air, not too clear, not too strong, just enough to notice. And with it a familiar feeling returning. A feeling like sitting down after a long day, a feeling like being in a safe place. And as that feeling appears, the body begins to prepare for rest. Jung believed that the unconscious always seeks to return us to balance. Small signals like a familiar scent can help the mind move from tension into gentleness. And that is not weakness. It is how we are made. It is how the soul finds peace. As you listen tonight, you may also be experiencing something similar. You do not need the real scent. Just the thought of it can awaken a very soft feeling. A feeling of anticipation. But not anticipation to do something, only anticipation to rest. Your breathing may be slowing. Your thoughts may be drifting more gently. And in that state, just as the brain quietly anticipates a soft reward, your body is also moving toward the most natural reward of the night's sleep. A sleep that does not come suddenly, but arrives slowly, like a scent spreading softly, like a feeling appearing before we even notice. And as we continue thinking about how the brain responds to that scent, we begin to see that this anticipation of reward is not loud or intense. It is very gentle, almost unnoticeable, just a warmth spreading softly, as if some part of the body is breathing out more easily. Carl Jung once said that many human reactions come not from reason, but from deeper layers of the soul, layers we do not need to fully understand. They simply respond to what feels familiar and safe. The scent of chocolate over time becomes one of those signals. Just a hint of it, and the brain begins to remember, not through clear images but through feeling. A soft comfort, a sense of familiarity, a sense of returning to a place where we once felt at ease. And this is completely natural. There is nothing weak about the body responding to a pleasant scent. It is a sign that we still feel, that we still connect to what brings peace. Jung believed that people need symbols of safety to keep the mind balanced. It might be a sound, a soft light, or a familiar fragrance. And chocolate, with its warm presence, often becomes such a symbol. When the brain begins to anticipate comfort, the body follows. The shoulders relax a little more. The breath deepens slightly. The heartbeat slows a little. Not because we try, but because the body remembers rest. Like hearing a familiar song and feeling calm. Like stepping into a familiar room and feeling safe. Scent can do the same. And as you lie in the quiet of the night, simply imagining the gentle aroma of chocolate may guide the mind into a different rhythm. A slower rhythm, a softer rhythm. There is nothing to do, nothing to think about. Just allow that feeling to exist. Jung once said that the unconscious always tries to bring us back to balance, and sometimes only a very small signal is enough to begin that process. A scent, a memory, a familiar feeling. And now, as you listen, your body may be responding in that natural way. Not strongly, not clearly, but quietly. A gentle anticipation, not waiting for something specific, only waiting to rest. As if the mind is slowly understanding that night has arrived, that everything can slow down, that there is no need to keep trying. Imagine the scent of chocolate still there, very soft, like a warm breath in the air. And with it a sense of safety spreading little by little. Not fast, not forced, just a soft current of feeling like the body preparing for sleep without effort. And in that gentle anticipation, like knowing rest is near after a long day, the mind begins to let go. Slower, deeper, lighter. As if some part of you has already realized that it is time to pause, to relax, and to drift slowly into the deep quiet of the night. Part 8. Cacao butter, the soul of texture. If you hold a cacao, piece of chocolate in your hand, and let it melt slowly in your mouth, you may notice that the first sensation is not the taste, but the softness. A feeling so smooth, so gentle, almost as if it is embracing the tongue. And this softness, so delicate it is hard to name, is what makes the experience of chocolate special. Behind it is a quiet but essential element: cocoa butter. Cocoa butter does not carry a strong taste. It is not as noticeable as sugar, not as deep as cocoa. Yet it is the foundation of everything. It creates the texture. It determines how chocolate melts. It is what makes everything feel rounded and smooth. Carl Jung once said that within the human soul there are parts that are just as quiet, parts that do not stand out, do not draw attention, but support all our emotions and experiences. It might be the feeling of safety, the feeling of being accepted, the feeling of being allowed to rest. We do not always see them, but when they are there, we feel softness within ourselves. Cocoa butter plays a similar role in chocolate. It keeps the chocolate from becoming dry. It makes the surface smooth. It allows it to melt slowly instead of breaking apart. And as it melts, the flavor begins to spread little by little. There is no rush. No sudden change, only a gentle flow. As cocoa butter warms with the temperature of the body, it becomes more fluid, and in that moment the aroma begins to open more deeply. The fragrant compounds are carried along in that soft flow, spreading across the mouth. The taste becomes clearer. The scent becomes richer. The experience becomes more complete. Jung believed that the deepest human experiences do not come from what is intense, but from what is gentle and lasting. When a feeling stays long enough, the mind begins to relax. And cocoa butter, by allowing flavor to unfold slowly, creates a rhythm very similar to relaxation. Imagine a piece of chocolate melting, not all at once, but gradually, layer by layer softening. tiny streams spreading, a feeling very light, very deep, very warm. There is something very similar to the way a person slowly drifts into sleep. Not a sudden moment, but a process of melting. Thoughts become softer, emotions become calmer. Each part of the body begins to let go. Cocoa butter determines how chocolate melts, how it flows, how it leaves its impression. And in a subtle way, it shapes the feeling we carry after tasting it. Chocolate rich in cocoa butter often feels luxurious. Not because it is complex, but because it is gentle. It does not demand attention. It simply exists, spreads softly, and lingers for a moment before fading. Jung once said that what makes us feel safe is often quiet. It does not ask for attention. It simply exists. And that presence alone can calm the mind. Cocoa butter is like that. It is not the part we think of when we think of chocolate, but without it, the experience would change. It would be drier, sharper, missing its softness. Just as in life, there are small things that keep the soul at ease. A moment of rest, a space where nothing needs to be thought about, a feeling of being still. These things are not large, but they make everything more comfortable. As you listen tonight, you may be feeling a similar kind of softness, not from real chocolate, but from the image of melting, from the idea of a slow flow, from the sense that nothing needs to be rushed. Imagine a piece of chocolate melting very slowly. It does not disappear at once. It simply softens. And as it softens, the flavor spreads more gently, longer, deeper. Jung believed that softness is necessary for the human mind to let go. When we hold too many rigid thoughts, too much tension, the mind cannot rest. But when everything becomes softer, sleep can come more easily. Cocoa butter, with the way it makes chocolate smooth, flowing, and gentle, carries a quiet symbol of release. Nothing is forced. Nothing is broken. Only a natural process. And perhaps in this moment, as you listen, you are entering a similar state. A place where nothing feels sharp anymore. Nothing feels rushed. Only a soft stillness remains. Your breath may be deeper. Your body may feel a little heavier. Your thoughts may be slowly melting away, just like chocolate, melting in warmth. And in that melting, there is a gentle, deep comfort, like a soft foundation holding everything. A feeling that you do not need to hold on anymore. You do not need to try anymore. Just let things flow. Just let things soften. And perhaps just as flavor spreads slowly because of cocoa butter, relaxation is also spreading through your body now, little by little, gently guiding you closer to sleep. And as we stay with the image of that soft melting a little longer, we begin to feel that what makes chocolate special is not a sudden burst, but a gentle sensation that lingers. Cocoa butter does not make flavor appear all at once. It holds it, supports it, allows it to unfold slowly like a quiet current. Carl Jung once said that slow experiences often reach the depth of the soul more than things that happen too quickly. When a feeling is allowed to last, the mind has time to relax, to stay, to feel. Cocoa butter does this for chocolate. It does not only help it melt, it helps the sensation remain. It lets the taste linger like a soft echo, and that echo creates a very soothing state, like listening to gentle music, and after the sound fades, the feeling remains. Not clear, not strong, but still present. Cocoa butter creates a similar echo, but in the world of sensation. The flavor spreads, then slows. The warmth remains. Nothing disappears all at once. Jung believed that people need these spaces in between in life. Spaces where nothing is rushed. Spaces where everything slows so the mind can rest. And in a piece of chocolate, cocoa butter becomes that space. It makes the experience softer, deeper, and longer. There is something very similar between that slow melting and the state before sleep. When sleep comes, it does not appear suddenly. It spreads gradually. First, the body grows heavier. Then thoughts lose their sharpness. Then a softness begins to settle over everything. There is no exact moment, only a process. little by little. As you imagine chocolate melting the smooth, gentle flow of cocoa butter, your body may begin to respond in a similar way, not because you are eating, but because the image carries a slow, gentle rhythm, a rhythm that does not push, a rhythm that does not demand, only a quiet spreading. Jung once said that softness is one of the most natural states of the soul. When a person no longer has to defend, no longer has to tense, they become soft. And when we are soft, rest comes more easily. Cocoa butter in a symbolic way carries that softness. It makes chocolate not harsh, not dry, not rigid, but gentle. And perhaps as you listen in the night, you are also entering that same state. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to think about. Your body is slowly softening, very gently. Your shoulders lowering a little, your breath slowing a little, your thoughts thinning a little. Like a current spreading, not fast, not strong, but continuous. And in that spreading, just as flavor lingers because of cocoa butter, the feeling of relaxation is lingering within you. A deep, gentle sensation like a soft foundation supporting everything. You no longer need to hold on to the day, no need to arrange every thought. Just let them melt, slowly, gently, naturally. And as everything becomes softer, like chocolate melting in warmth, you may feel yourself drifting into a quiet space, a place where nothing is rushed, nothing needs to be completed, only softness spreading little by little, guiding you gently closer to sleep. Part 9. Physical transformations. Bloom crystallization temperature. There are times when we hold a bar of chocolate in our hands and notice that its surface is no longer as smooth as before. Faint white streaks appear like a thin mist settling over it. Many people see this and think the chocolate has gone bad, but most of the time it is simply changing, not ruined, just a very natural transformation. Those white streaks often appear when the cocoa butter or sugar inside the chocolate shifts and crystallizes again on the surface. It may be because of changes in temperature. It may be because of humidity in the air. It may be because the chocolate has traveled a long way from one place to another. And along that journey, its inner structure has moved very gently, very quietly. Carl Jung once said that everything living in this world is shaped by its environment. Nothing stands completely still. Nothing remains unchanged forever. And human beings are the same. We change with time, with the places we pass through, with the things we experience. Chocolate, though small, and seemingly still carries that same sensitivity. If the temperature rises just a little, the fats inside begin to soften. If the temperature drops, they crystallize again in a different way. And then the marks appear on the surface, not as a flaw, but as a sign of movement. Those white streaks do not take away the chocolate's essence. The flavor is still there. The texture inside is still the same. Only the surface has changed a little, like a layer of memory left behind by time. Jung believed that people also carry such marks. Small changes that sometimes show in the face, in the eyes, in the way we respond to the world. Not damage, but traces of time and experience. There are moments in life when we feel we are no longer the same as before, no longer as smooth, no longer as light. But that does not mean we have lost who we are. It only means we have moved through change, and change leaves its marks. Chocolate is very sensitive to its surroundings. A small shift in humidity can alter its surface. A change in temperature can move its inner structure. It responds to what happens around it. Human beings are the same. We feel changes in the air. We respond to what happens around us. We carry the traces of the days we have lived. Jung called this the adaptation of the soul. Not weakness, but a natural part of living. When chocolate passes through temperature changes, the fat may rise to the surface and crystallize. When humidity is high, the sugar may dissolve slightly, then dry again, forming a soft layer. All of this happens slowly, gently, almost unnoticed in the moment it occurs. But over time, the marks appear. And perhaps if we look at this slowly, we may see something very similar to the way people move through life. We do not always keep the same shape. We change. We adapt. We carry the imprint of the environments we have lived in. A sunny day may make us feel lighter. A rainy day may make us quieter. A busy period may leave signs of tiredness, but all of it is simply change, not loss. Jung believed that these transformations are part of the journey of growing. When we look back, we may see that we are different, but deep inside our essence remains. Chocolate is the same. Even if the surface changes, even if white streaks appear, it is still chocolate. The flavor is still there. The feeling is still there. It has simply gone through a journey. There is a quiet beauty in accepting such change. Not everything needs to be perfect. Not everything needs to remain smooth. Sometimes the small marks tell the story of time. As you listen tonight, you may also be carrying your own marks. Thoughts left over from the day. Feelings that have not yet settled. Things that have happened and are still there. But like chocolate, those marks do not take away your essence. They are only part of the journey. Jung once said that healing begins when we stop resisting change and learn to see it as a natural part of life. Chocolate responds to temperature, to humidity, to its surroundings. And people respond to the world around them. That is not wrong, not weak. It is simply how we exist. Imagine a bar of chocolate resting in a very quiet space. The temperature steady, the air gentle, no sudden changes. Over time, its surface becomes smooth again. Everything slowly settles. Your body is much the same. As you lie quietly in the night, your body temperature begins to steady. Your breathing becomes even. The changes of the day begin to settle. The mind is no longer pulled by constant movement. Everything begins to return to balance. The thoughts may still be there. The feelings may still be there. But they are slowly calming, just as chocolate stabilizes when placed in a quiet environment. Jung believed that when a person is in a space that is safe and still enough, the soul adjusts on its own. No force, no effort, only time. And perhaps in this moment, you are in such a space. A place where nothing changes too quickly, where the body can rest, where the mind can soften. Like chocolate placed in a steady environment, slowly becoming calm again, you too are moving gently toward balance. There is nothing to do, nothing to fix. Just let time pass. And in that quiet, the movements of the day may slowly settle, like crystals gradually finding their place, like the marks gently softening. And as everything becomes lighter, softer, slower, you may feel yourself drifting closer to a deep, peaceful state, where sleep is waiting gentle as a return home. And as we stay with the image of these gentle transformations a little longer, we begin to see that not every change is something to fear. Sometimes it is simply a sign that a journey has taken place. The white streaks on the surface of chocolate may seem confusing, but in truth they are only the fats or sugars that have shifted, that have crystallized again after changes in temperature. The chocolate has traveled. It may have warmed and cooled. It may have moved from a humid place into a drier one. And each time its inner structure quietly adjusted. Nothing was broken, only rearranged. Carl Jung once said that within the human soul there are also moments of crystallization. When we move through experiences, our inner feelings shift, change shape. Sometimes we feel different, more sensitive, more quiet, or simply not the same as before. But that does not mean we are losing ourselves. It means we are transforming. Chocolate is sensitive to its environment. A small change in temperature can make the fat inside soften and harden again in a different way. Even something that seems simple carries a deep kind of responsiveness. It reacts, it adapts, it changes. People are the same. A long day can leave a trace in the mind. A single word can linger in the heart. A memory can move the feelings. All of it is like small changes in temperature and humidity, things we cannot fully control, yet they shape our inner state. Jung believed that accepting this sensitivity is part of understanding ourselves. We are not something fixed. We are always responding to the world around us, and that is natural. Chocolate does not resist the changes in its environment. It simply responds in its own way. And when placed in a stable place, it slowly settles again. The human body has a similar ability. When night arrives, when the light softens, when the space grows quiet, the body begins to understand that it is time to rest. Temperature steadies. Breathing becomes even. The changes of the day begin to calm. Just as chocolate needs a stable environment to become smooth again, the mind needs a quiet space to find balance. Imagine a bar of chocolate resting in a room that is warm enough. Not too hot, not too cold. No sudden shifts. Over time, its surface slowly settles. The crystals inside grow steady again. Nothing is rushed. Only stillness doing its work. Jung once said that silence has a deep power to heal. When we are no longer pushed by constant change, the soul begins to rearrange itself. Strong emotions soften. Sharp thoughts become gentler. And now, as you listen, you may also be in such an environment. The space around you may be quiet. The light may be dim. Your body has settled. The movement of the day has slowed. Little by little, the traces of today are still there, but they are no longer moving strongly. They are settling like crystals, slowly finding their place. You do not need to erase them. You do not need to fix anything. Just let them be, and let time do its work. Like chocolate, in a steady space, slowly becoming calm and smooth again, your mind is also moving gently toward balance. Your breathing slows. Your body feels a little heavier. Your thoughts drift a little farther away, not because you are trying, but because everything is adjusting on its own. And in that gentle adjustment, like the physical changes inside chocolate slowly settling, you may feel yourself drifting more slowly, more deeply into a very soft state, where the movements of the day are left behind and only stillness remains, spreading gently enough for sleep to come naturally. Part 10. Gentle chemistry within the body. There are things happening inside the human body that we do not notice. No sound, no clear sign, only very small, delicate reactions, unfolding little by little, like soft ripples moving across water. And when we eat a piece of chocolate, a quiet world like that begins to move within us. Chocolate contains a small amount of caffeine, though usually far less than coffee. It does not wake the body suddenly. It does not make the heart race or the mind tense. Instead, it brings a very gentle feeling, a soft alertness, almost like a dim light appearing in the mind. Alongside caffeine, chocolate also contains a compound called theobromine. The name may sound unfamiliar, but its effect is subtle. Theobromine does not stimulate strongly. It does not create sudden change. It spreads slowly, creating a light, lasting sense of alertness like a quiet stream of energy. Carl Jung once said that some influences in life do not arrive in powerful ways, but quietly. Small changes repeated many times can shape us more deeply than sudden dramatic events. Theobromine is like that. It does not wake us sharply. It simply supports the mind, gently keeping it just a little brighter. As chocolate melts in the mouth, these compounds begin to be absorbed by the body. Not quickly, not loudly, only a slow movement inside. A small portion of energy spreading, a small sense of alertness appearing, but everything remains gentle. And what is interesting is that the human body responds to chocolate in a very different way than it responds to coffee. Not strongly, not suddenly, but with a sense of balance, as if the body is awakened just enough to feel, yet still soft enough to relax. Jung believed that balance is what the soul always seeks, not too tense, not too loose, but a place in between where we can feel everything without being carried away. Chocolate, with its low caffeine and gentle theobromine, carries that kind of balance. It does not keep us awake the way many people worry it might. For many, the warm and gentle feeling it brings can actually slow the mind, not because it makes the body tired, but because it creates a soft state, a state where there is no need to stay fully alert, but also no need to sink into heaviness, just a very light space in between. Jung called these in-between states transitional spaces of the soul, places where we move from daytime awareness into the rest of night, and sometimes gentle sensations in the body help that transition happen naturally. There is another interesting detail that not everyone knows. Chocolate, though gentle for humans, can be harmful to dogs. Theobromine, the compound that gives us a mild sense of alertness, is processed very slowly in their bodies. It can build up and become toxic. This is not a frightening thought. It is simply a gentle reminder that each body is its own world. Each living being processes things in its own way. What brings comfort to one may not suit another. Jung once said that each person is also a world of their own. What brings peace to one person may not bring the same feeling to another. What feels warm to one may feel different to someone else. And that is natural. Chocolate, with its gentle chemistry, reflects this. It does not force anything. It simply offers a subtle feeling, then lets the body respond in its own way. As you listen tonight, you may feel a small movement inside you, not from real chocolate, but from the imagination of warmth, of softness, of a quiet energy spreading gently. Your breath may be deeper, your body may feel a little heavier, your mind may be slowing, not because anything strong is happening, but because everything is adjusting. Jung believed that the human body always knows how to return to balance when given enough space. No need to try too hard. No need to control too tightly. Just allow things to unfold in their natural rhythm. Just as theobromine spreads slowly through the body, the feeling of relaxation can spread slowly through the mind. Little by little, very gently, very softly. Nothing sudden, nothing that pulls you awake. Only a small warmth spreading like a soft light, glowing and slowly fading. And in that state, between a light sense of alertness and a deep sense of tiredness, the body begins to find its balance. A place where you no longer need to think, no longer need to focus. Just be there and let everything slow. Like a gentle current of chemistry within sleep is also arriving in a quiet way. Not rushed, not forceful, just a feeling, softening, deepening, as if the body is being led back to a peaceful place it has always known. And as we continue thinking about these quiet chemical movements in the body, we may begin to feel them like a rhythm. Not a rhythm we can hear, like footsteps or a heartbeat, but a very subtle spreading, like a small wave moving inside. The caffeine in chocolate does not wake us like a loud bell. It is more like a dim light appearing in a dark room, just enough to feel present, but not enough to disturb the quiet. Theobromine is similar. It does not create tension. It simply makes the body feel slightly brighter, as if the mind is being lifted gently enough to feel but not enough to be pulled away. Carl Jung once said that within every person there is a delicate balance between wakefulness and rest. If we are too alert, we cannot relax. If we are too tired, we cannot feel. But when we are somewhere in between, the soul begins to soften. Chocolate, in a very gentle way, often brings us close to that space. Not too stimulating, not too sleepy, just a warm feeling. And perhaps that is why many people feel comfort when thinking of chocolate at the end of the day. Not because it wakes them, but because it creates a gentle pause between the speed of life and the stillness of night. Jung believed that the body always knows how to guide us toward rest if we give it time. Small chemical responses, very light sensations, all working together to slowly carry us away from the busyness of the day. You may not notice it clearly, but if you pay very soft attention, you may sense something slowing, your breath deepening, your shoulders softening, your thoughts no longer moving as quickly, like a small current of energy gradually settling. There is something very interesting in how the body responds to substances like theobromine. It does not arrive and disappear right away. It lingers for a while, spreads, then slowly fades. And this process is very similar to how a person drifts into sleep, not like a light switching off, but like a dimming, little by little. Jung once called this the journey into gentle darkness, where awareness does not disappear at once, but slowly steps back, making space for deeper rest. And the soft sensations from the body can be the quiet steps along that path. Imagine a small warmth spreading inside you, not strong, not clear, but enough to feel comforting. Like sitting quietly in a warm room and the body relaxing on its own without effort. These gentle chemical reactions are like a reminder that your body is still caring for you, even when you are not thinking about it, even when you are simply lying there. It is adjusting your heartbeat, deepening your breath, preparing you for deeper rest. And you do not need to do anything at all. Just as theobromine spreads very slowly, sleep is also arriving in a very gentle way. Not forced, not rushed, just a feeling fading, like a small light slowly dimming. And in that fading, you may begin to sense a very soft space opening, a place with no thoughts, no pressure, only a deep, quiet, slowly surrounding you. Your body knows how to go there. It has done this many times, and now it may be doing it again, little by little, very gently, very slowly, guiding you towards sleep. Part 11. Flavor shaped by ingredients. There is something very interesting when we taste chocolate slowly. Its flavor rarely exists in just one layer. At first, there may be a gentle sweetness, then a light bitterness, and slowly deeper notes begin to appear, like roasted nuts, like honey, like ripe fruit, even like warm wood. None of these happen by accident. They are formed from small, delicate ingredients, added or adjusted along the journey of making chocolate. Just a small pinch of salt, very little, can change the entire experience. Salt does not make the chocolate taste salty. It simply lifts the sweetness, softens the bitterness, as if smoothing the sharp edges. A very gentle balance is created, and that balance makes the flavor feel fuller. Carl Jung once said that the human soul also needs elements like this. Not every emotion needs to be strong. Sometimes one small thing appearing at the right moment is enough to soften what feels sharp inside us. Salt in chocolate is like a quiet understanding. It does not overpower. It simply helps everything become more harmonious. And then there are other ingredients like chili, like vanilla, like spices added to create depth. Chili brings a gentle warmth, not too hot, just a feeling spreading quietly in the background. Vanilla brings a soft fragrance, almost embracing the cacao. These small additions do not change the essence of chocolate, but they make the experience richer. Jung believed that human beings are also made of many such layers. On the outside, there may be calmness. Inside, there may be memories, emotions, experiences gathered over time. Each part contributes to who we are, just as each small ingredient contributes to the final flavor of chocolate. A little warmth, a little sweetness, a little depth, all existing together. As chocolate melts slowly, we begin to feel these layers moving. First, the most obvious taste. Then the softer ones appear. Gentle hints, almost like something we once knew. Sometimes the flavor reminds us of ripe fruit. Sometimes a touch of soft honey. Sometimes the scent of roasted nuts. Or something like the warmth of wood in a quiet room. These sensations are not always clear, but they are there, and they make the experience deeper. Jung once said that memory and emotion rarely appear directly. They come through small signals, a scent, a sound, a familiar feeling. And when they appear, we may not notice at once, but something inside quietly moves. Chocolate is like that. It is not only taste, it is suggestion, association, feelings that have lived somewhere inside us. You may not know exactly why one kind of chocolate makes you feel more at ease, but perhaps a certain note inside it touches an old memory, a quiet afternoon, a moment of rest, a feeling of warmth. Jung believed that the soul stores everything in its own way, not always through clear images, but through sensation, and sometimes just a very gentle flavor is enough to reach something deep inside, like a single note of music reminding us of an entire song. When salt lifts the sweetness, we feel balance. When chili brings warmth, we feel depth. When vanilla spreads, we feel softness. And together these things create not only taste, but emotion. People are the same. We are not just one feeling. We are many layers, many memories, many experiences. And the small spices in life, warm moments, times we were cared for, moments of rest, make the soul deeper, softer. As you listen tonight, you can imagine a piece of chocolate melting slowly, and with it, layers of flavor opening little by little. No rush, nothing clear, just a gentle spreading. Like the way memories open when we relax, a familiar feeling may appear. A small warmth may rise in the heart. No need to name it, just feel it. Jung once said that in stillness, people begin to hear the small things they miss during the day. Gentle feelings, deep movements, the softest parts of the soul. Chocolate, when experienced slowly, brings a similar state. It does not demand attention. It simply exists, then fades, leaving behind a soft sensation. And in that softness, there is something very much like the feeling before sleep. Nothing sharp anymore, nothing strong, only very gentle layers of sensation slowly settling. Like the final trace of sweetness resting on the tongue, your mind may be holding a small softness. Not clear, but enough to slow everything down. Your breath may be more even, your body a little heavier, your thoughts drifting farther away. And in this slowing, just as layers of flavor blend together, your feelings are also becoming softer, no longer separate, no longer loud, only a very gentle state. As if all the spices in your soul are slowly finding their balance. Sweet and bitter, warm and soft, deep and light, all blending slowly, gently. And when everything becomes harmonious like this, sleep can come naturally. No need to call it, no need to wait. Just a soft release, like the final taste fading, leaving behind a quiet space where you can gently drift into sleep. And as we stay with these layers a little longer, we may begin to see that the combination of ingredients creates not only taste, but a feeling of balance. No flavor stands alone. No note exists by itself. Everything joins to form a complete experience. A little salt softens bitterness. A little sweetness smooths the sharpness. A little warmth from spice deepens the sensation. Each part is small, but together they create something very gentle. Carl Jung once said that the human soul is also shaped by balance between its many parts. Within each person, there are gentle sides and strong sides, sweet memories and difficult experiences. And when all are accepted and allowed to exist together, the person becomes more whole, like a flavor adjusted with care. Chocolate does not try to make everything the same. It allows each ingredient to keep its character, then slowly blend into the whole. And that blending creates depth. Sometimes we taste a hint of fruit, sometimes a warm roasted note, sometimes something like slow honey. These things appear and fade very gently, very quickly, but they leave a lingering feeling. Jung believed that the deepest human emotions often appear in the same way, not always clear, not always strong, just small passing feelings that touch something deep inside. When a flavor reminds us of fruit, it may awaken the feeling of a summer afternoon. When a warm, woody note appears, it may bring back the sense of a quiet room. We do not need to remember exactly, only to feel something familiar. And that familiarity brings safety. As you listen in the night, you may also be moving through a similar process. Thoughts are no longer as clear as they were during the day. Emotions are no longer as sharp. Everything is slowly blending together like layers of flavor melting in chocolate. No longer separate, no longer strong, only a very soft feeling. Jung called this an inner harmony, when different parts of the mind no longer struggle against each other, but exist together in a deep quiet. And in that state, it becomes easier to let go. Just as sweetness and bitterness blend into a gentle whole, your thoughts are blending too. No need to analyze, no need to hold on, only a slow flow. Your breath more even, your body a little heavier, your mind a little softer. The spices of today, the things you lived, the feelings you felt, are still there, but they are settling like layers of flavor, dissolving and becoming gentler. Nothing needs to be arranged. Nothing needs to be understood right now. Just let everything blend naturally, and in that gentle blending, you may begin to feel a quieter space opening inside, a place where nothing is too clear, nothing is too strong, only softness spreading little by little. Like the faint sweetness left after chocolate has melted, a gentle warmth remains, not obvious, but enough to slow the body. And in that slowing, you can begin to let go, very softly, very gently, like the final layers of flavor blending, then settling into the deep stillness of the night, where sleep is waiting calm and natural. Part 12. From Bean to Bar, a journey of transformation. There is a very long journey, hidden inside every bar of chocolate we hold in our hands. A journey we do not see, but can feel if we pause long enough. That journey begins with rough cacao beans, carrying within them a sourness, a bitterness, and a fragrance still faint and undefined. No one could immediately recognize that from those small seeds, through time and care, a warm and deep flavor would slowly be formed. The first step is fermentation. After the cacao beans are taken from the fruit, they are placed into warm, dark spaces, where microorganisms begin their quiet work. In those days, hundreds of flavor compounds slowly emerge. Changes unfold inside, not loudly, not in a rush, only a very gentle movement of time. Carl Jung once said that human beings also need such periods in their lives, quiet spaces, unclear spaces, where change happens from within without being seen. There are times when we feel we are in a dark place, unsure of what the future will look like, but it is often in those very moments that the deepest things are beginning to form. Fermentation does not make the cacao beans beautiful right away, but it begins to open their flavor. It softens the sharpness they first carry. It lays the foundation for everything that will come later. Then comes roasting. As the temperature rises, the cacao beans begin to change more clearly. The aroma deepens. The sharp sourness softens. Warm layers of fragrance begin to appear like roasted nuts, like wood, like the faintest trace of honey. Roasting is both powerful and delicate. The heat does not destroy the cacao. It helps reveal what was hidden inside. Jung believed that in every person there are parts like this, abilities, emotions, depths, that only appear when we pass through challenges, not to make us weaker, but to make us more clearly ourselves. The heat of roasting is like experiences in life, sometimes gentle, sometimes strong, but if it is just enough, it does not take away our essence. It only makes what is already inside become deeper, warmer. After roasting, the cacao beans are ground. Slowly they become smooth. From hard fragments they turn into a flowing softness, and then comes conching, a long process of stirring and smoothing that can last hours, even days. During that time, the texture grows silkier, the flavors blend together, and the sharp edges gradually soften. Jung once said that the growth of a person is much like this process of smoothing. Through time and experience, the sharper parts of us become gentler, not because we lose strength, but because we learn balance. We learn understanding. We learn how to soften. And finally comes tempering, the careful adjustment of temperature, so the chocolate gains its shine, its smoothness, and the clear snap when it is broken. It is the moment when all the previous changes are arranged and settled into a complete form. There is a deep beauty in this. From a rough bean, through fermentation, through roasting, through grinding, through smoothing, through careful temperature changes, it becomes a bar of chocolate, smooth, glossy, and full of flavor. No step can be skipped. No stage is unnecessary. Jung believed that human life is also a chain of transformations like this. There are times we feel stirred, times we feel heated, times we feel we are in a dark, unclear space. But all of these moments are quietly arranging us from within, not to break us, but to shape us. As you listen tonight, you may imagine that journey unfolding slowly. A cacao bean resting in the warmth of fermentation. A fragrance beginning to appear very faintly. Then slowly, through heat, through time, through gentle movement, everything becomes softer, deeper, calmer. And perhaps in some way your mind is moving through a similar process. The thoughts of the day are slowly settling. Strong emotions are softening. Sharp edges in the mind are becoming gentler. There is no need to try, no need to do anything more. Jung once said that the deepest transformations happen when we allow ourselves to be in stillness, when we stop resisting, when we let everything arrange itself. Just as chocolate needs time to become smooth and glossy, the mind needs time to become calm and quiet. Your breathing may be slowing. Your body may feel a little heavier. Your thoughts may be drifting farther away, little by little. Like cacao beans slowly turning into a smooth flow, the movements inside you are becoming gentler, no longer rushed, no longer strong. Only a deep softness remains. And in that softness, there is a feeling very much like letting go, not losing anything, but being supported, being guided into a stable, quiet place where everything has settled. Like a bar of chocolate that has completed its journey, your mind may be moving toward a gentle balance, a place where there is no need to think, no need to hold on, just relax. And in that slow release, as if a transformation has finished, you may feel yourself drifting into a space that is deep and quiet, where sleep is waiting, gentle and complete. And as we look more deeply into this journey from bean to bar, we begin to notice that each transformation does not only create flavor, but also creates a rhythm, a very slow rhythm, a patient rhythm, very much like the way things in life slowly take shape over time. Fermentation is a warm darkness where unclear things begin to move. Roasting is a moment of heat where deeper layers awaken. Grinding and conching are long movements that make everything smoother, more blended. And tempering is the final step where everything is arranged and stabilized. Carl Jung believed that human growth follows rhythms like these. Not a single great change in one day, but many small steps repeated slowly, sometimes unnoticed. Quiet experiences, unnamed feelings, long stretches of stillness, all shaping us in a deep way. Just as a cacao bean cannot become chocolate in a single moment, the human soul also needs time to become soft, deep, and whole. There are stages in life like fermentation when we do not yet understand what we are becoming. There are stages like roasting when everything feels warm, intense, and changing. And there are stages like smoothing when we begin to soften, to understand, to become gentler. All are part of the journey. When chocolate is ground and stirred for a long time, the edges disappear. The separate parts blend together. The taste becomes round. The texture becomes smooth. The sharpness fades. Jung once said that people also learn to become smooth over time. Strong reactions grow gentler. Sharp thoughts grow deeper. Not because we become weak, but because we understand more, feel more. And perhaps in this quiet night, your mind is going through something similar. The thoughts from the day may still be there, but they are no longer as clear. The feelings may still exist, but they are softening, little by little. Like chocolate stirred slowly over time, your mind is being gently smoothed by stillness. Nothing forced, nothing rushed, only time doing its work. And then comes tempering, the final step where chocolate is guided through careful changes in temperature so that it settles, so that when you hold it, it shines. When you break it, it makes a clear snap, a sign that everything inside has found its place. There is a deep beauty in that steadiness. Jung believed that after enough experiences, each person slowly finds a state like this, no longer as scattered, no longer as restless. Everything begins to settle gently, naturally, not perfect, but stable. And perhaps right now as you lie quietly, your body is also moving into such steadiness. Your breath more even, your heartbeat slower, your body a little heavier, like chocolate after tempering everything is finding balance. There is nothing more to do. No need to try to sleep. Just let things continue. Like a journey nearing its end, your mind is becoming softer, deeper, calmer. The last thoughts may still drift by, but they no longer hold you. Like the final movements in the smoothing process, everything is settling. And in that settling, a quiet space opens. A space where you do not need to think, do not need to remember, do not need to hold anything. Just relax. And when everything has become slow enough, soft enough, still enough, sleep may come naturally, like a bar of chocolate that has completed its journey, whole, steady, and resting quietly. Part 13. Different types of chocolate. There is something very gentle in realizing that from the same cacao bean, people have created many different kinds of chocolate. Each carries its own flavor, its own feeling, its own way of touching the mind. And like people, none is right or wrong. Each is simply a different expression of the same essence. Dark chocolate is the closest to the cacao bean itself. It has fewer ingredients, less sweetness, and carries a deep, rich taste that is sometimes slightly bitter. Yet within that bitterness, there is a special depth, like a story told slowly. It does not try to please immediately. It asks for time to be understood. Carl Jung once said that the deepest parts of a person are like this, not always easy to reach, not always gentle at first, but if we stay long enough, we discover truth there, strength there, a quiet kind of beauty. Dark chocolate carries the feeling of maturity, not loud, not overly sweet, just very real. Then there is milk chocolate, softer, sweeter, gentler. It is easy to love, easy to approach like a friendly smile. It may not be as deep as dark chocolate, but it brings warmth quickly. A comforting feeling that needs no effort. Jung believed that within each person there is also a soft part like this. A part that wants comfort, wants closeness, wants to feel safe. And those parts are not weak. They are simply the places within us that need warmth. Milk chocolate is like a gentle embrace. No need to think, just to feel. White chocolate is different again. It does not carry the deep cacao flavor. It focuses on cocoa butter, creating a smooth, sweet, very soft sensation. Some people say it is not as real as the others, but if we look more closely, we see it is still part of the same journey. Jung once said that every person has many sides, some very deep, some very light, some very clear, some very delicate. No part is unnecessary. White chocolate is like a gentle side of the same essence. Not strong, not intense, but very soft. And then there is cocoa powder, what remains after the fat has been pressed away. It is drier, stronger, rougher, yet it carries the most original cacao flavor. It is rarely eaten on its own. It is mixed into hot milk, into cakes, into other foods. Jung said that there are parts within us that do not stand alone. They reveal themselves when blended with other things, when placed into a different setting, and then they create something new. Cocoa powder is not as soft as chocolate, not as smooth, but it is the foundation of many familiar flavors. When we look at these four forms of chocolate, we may see something that resembles people. The same cacao bean transformed in different ways, becoming many forms, each one carrying its own feeling. Sometimes we are like dark chocolate, deep, quiet, and still. Sometimes like milk chocolate, warm, gentle, and easy to be with. Sometimes like white chocolate, soft, delicate, and light. And sometimes like cocoa powder, quiet, yet the base of many things. Jung believed that growing does not mean choosing one part and rejecting the others. It means accepting that all of them exist within us. The strong parts, the soft parts, the deep parts, the light parts. And when we accept this, we begin to feel more whole. As you listen tonight, you may imagine different kinds of chocolate melting slowly. each carrying its own feeling, yet all of them beginning from the same small seed, just like you. There are many feelings inside you, some deep, some gentle, and all of them are part of you. Jung once said that sleep comes more easily when a person feels accepted. No need to try to become someone else. No need to be stronger. No need to be gentler. Just to be yourself. Just as chocolate does not need to be the same, people do not need to have only one form. Sometimes you are deep, sometimes soft, sometimes quiet, and all of it is natural. When we accept that the mind begins to calm, breathing slows, the body relaxes, thoughts no longer move as quickly, like many kinds of chocolate blending into one gentle feeling. No need to choose, no need to compare, just let everything exist. And in that soft acceptance, like flavors melting together, your mind is becoming gentler. No sharpness, no tension, only a very light warmth. And in that warmth, as if a deep part of you is being held, you can slowly let go, very slowly, very gently, allowing all the different parts of you to rest, to settle, and drift towards sleep. And as we stay a little longer with these different forms of chocolate, we begin to see that difference is not separation, but simply different expressions of the same essence. From the same cacao bean, people create many textures, many flavors, and each one has its own way of being loved. Dark chocolate may not be for everyone at first. It can feel bitter, deep, but if we give it time, that bitterness softens and opens into very delicate layers. Like the deeper parts of a person, not easy to understand at first, but steady and strong when we take time to know them. Milk chocolate is different. It comes closer, sweeter, softer, like comfort that needs no words. A familiar feeling that can be accepted without effort. And in life, there are moments when we need that kind of gentleness. Not to forget everything, but to rest for a while. White chocolate carries a very light feeling. Not strong in cacao flavor, but smooth and soft. Like a quiet space in the mind, not too deep, not filled with thought, just a gentle place to breathe. And cocoa powder, though dry and strong, is the base of many things. It blends into warm milk, into cakes, into familiar foods, becoming part of warm moments. Jung once said that some parts of a person are not always visible, yet they are the foundation of many things. Quiet, but steady. When we look at all these forms of chocolate, we may notice a gentle truth. There is no single way to be right. Each form has its place. Each is loved in its own way. Each brings a different feeling. Jung believed the human soul is the same. We are not just one thing, sometimes deep and quiet, sometimes warm and light, sometimes still, sometimes wanting closeness. These states do not cancel each other. They change with time. And when we allow ourselves to be all of them, a sense of peace begins to appear. No need to hold one fixed image. No need to always be strong. No need to always be gentle. Just to exist. As you lie in this quiet night, you may imagine all these forms of chocolate melting slowly, each carrying a different feeling. And then those feelings are no longer separate. They blend into one shared warmth, like the different parts of you slowly blending together. The thoughts of today, the feelings that remain, passing memories, all are no longer as clear. They are melting like chocolate in warmth. Jung once said that when people accept all parts of themselves, they begin to feel lighter. No more resistance, no more trying to become something else. And in that acceptance, the mind softens. Your breath may be deeper, your body may feel heavier, your thoughts may be drifting away, like many flavors blending into one gentle sensation. No separation, no comparison, only a soft state. And in that state, like the faint warmth left after chocolate has melted, your mind is settling. Nothing left to hold. Just relax. And when every part of you is allowed to rest, a deep stillness can begin to spread. Very slowly, very gently, as if your whole body is drifting into a soft, quiet space where sleep is coming closer, like a very gentle embrace. Part 14. The culture and history of chocolate there is a quiet depth in the history of chocolate that, if we pause long enough to think about it, makes us feel that it is not only a food, but a part of human memory. Before it became the sweet chocolate bars we know today, cacao was once a sacred drink, a symbol of connection between people, nature, community, and the unseen things they believed in. In distant lands of Mesoamerica hundreds of years ago, cacao was not seen as a simple treat. People ground the beans, mixed them with water, sometimes added spices, and drank it as part of rituals. Not just to enjoy the taste, but to mark important moments, ceremonies, prayers, gatherings of the community. Carl Jung once said that in every culture, people create symbols to connect with the deepest parts of the soul. Rituals are not only actions, they are ways of feeling the sacred within everyday life, and cacao for a long time was part of that sacredness. When they drank cacao, they were not only drinking something warm, they were sharing a moment, a meaningful moment. Perhaps to give thanks, perhaps to hope, or simply to sit together in quiet. Jung believed that people are always searching for connection with nature, with community, and with the deeper parts within themselves. The rituals around cacao may have offered that feeling, a sense that life had meaning, that everything was linked. As time passed, cacao was not only a drink, it became so valuable that it was once used as a kind of currency. Small, dry, simple beans, yet carrying worth in exchange. People could use them to trade, to obtain what they needed. There is something special in that image, a small seed, but holding great value. Jung once said that in life some things seem very small yet carry deep meaning. A gentle word, a kind action, a quiet moment. They are not loud, but over time they become precious. Cacao beans were like that, not shining like gold, not hard like gemstones, but they held value because people saw something important in them, a part of life, a part of exchange. And then, as cacao crossed the ocean and reached Europe, it took on another form. Chocolate became a luxurious drink. It was served in quiet, elegant spaces. Those who drank it were not only tasting it, but feeling as though they were part of something rare. At times, chocolate was even seen as something healing. People believed it could strengthen the body, lighten the spirit. Not because science understood everything then, but because they felt the warmth it brought. Jung once said that people are always searching for things that can soothe the soul. And sometimes just a warm drink prepared with care can become part of healing. A cup of hot chocolate on a cold evening, a moment of sitting quietly, a warmth spreading through the body. Very small things, yet enough to create peace. When we look at that long journey, we see that chocolate has not only been food, it has been part of rituals, part of trade, part of luxury, part of care, and in a gentle way, it has walked beside people through many ages. Jung believed that things which last for a long time often carry deeper meanings than we realize. They become symbols, not because they hold magic, but because people have placed feelings, beliefs, and memories into them. Chocolate, in that way, has become a symbol of warmth, of closeness, of moments that slow down. As you listen tonight, you may imagine that many centuries ago there were people sitting quietly holding a warm cacao drink, perhaps speaking softly, perhaps praying, perhaps just sitting in silence. And in those moments, they may have felt a very gentle peace, just like you now. There is nothing urgent, nothing to do, only a story moving slowly through time, from distant forests, through ancient rituals, across long journeys, and now reaching you on a quiet night. Jung once said that people carry within them a collective memory, images and symbols passed through generations. And sometimes when we touch something familiar, we are not only feeling for ourselves, we are feeling a long current of history. Chocolate, in a quiet way, carries that current. A drink once used in rituals, a bean once used as currency, a flavor once seen as precious, and now a simple part of everyday life. There is a deep quiet in that journey. Everything changes, everything moves, but the warmth remains. And as you lie in the stillness of night listening to these distant stories, your mind may begin to slow, images fading, thoughts softening, like a long river of history flowing slowly, guiding you into a gentle state. Your breath more even, your body a little heavier, your mind calmer, and in that settling you may feel a familiar sensation, as if you are connected to something very old, very deep, very quiet, a warm feeling, a safe feeling. And from that feeling, very gently, very slowly, sleep may come closer, like a natural continuation of a long journey through time. And as we stay with this long history a little longer, we begin to sense that it is not only a series of events, but layers of memory gathered through time. From ancient ceremonies where people raised cups of cacao in reverence to trade routes where cacao beans were exchanged as something precious, to quiet rooms in Europe where chocolate was seen as a healing drink. Each step part of a very long story. Carl Jung once said that people carry within them a collective memory, images and symbols repeated across generations. Things that last this long often touch something deep in the soul, even if we do not realize it. Chocolate may be one of those symbols. It is not only food. It is something that has been present in important moments, ceremonies, meetings, exchanges, moments of rest. And each time, another layer of meaning was placed into it. Long ago, people drank cacao in stillness. They may not have called it meditation, but they sat together, slowed down, and felt. Jung believed moments like that help people connect with the deeper parts of themselves, the part not carried away by the rush of life, the part that seeks peace. When cacao beans were used as money, they were not only a way to trade, they were a symbol of trust, a small seed carrying value because people agreed it had meaning. Jung said that the true value of something lies not in the object itself, but in the meaning people place upon it. And when chocolate reached Europe and became a luxurious drink, it carried another meaning. No longer ritual, no longer currency, but a symbol of care and rest. People drank chocolate to warm the body, to feel better, to recover. A warm drink in a quiet room, a moment without rush, a feeling of being with oneself. Jung believed that moments like this allow a person to return to true stillness, not only the stillness of space, but the stillness of the mind. And perhaps tonight as you listen, you are also in such a moment. No noise of the day, no tasks that must be done, only a small space to breathe slowly. Imagine a long stream of time flowing. From distant tropical forests, through ancient ceremonies, across ships crossing oceans, through warm rooms of past centuries, and slowly, gently it arrives here, with you, on a quiet night. Jung once said that when people feel the continuity of time, they begin to sense they are part of something larger. And in that feeling there is a deep peace. No need to hurry, no need to chase anything. Only a slow current carrying everything forward. Just as the story of chocolate has moved through hundreds of years, your thoughts are also moving through. No need to hold them. No need to stop them. Just let them pass. Your breath may be steadier, your body a little heavier, the images in your mind fading, everything slowing, like an ancient ritual ending in silence, like a warm cup set down after it has been finished. Like a story told completely, and in that gentle sense of completion you may feel yourself supported by a deep stillness. Nothing to do, nothing to think, just relax. And as you rest long enough, like the long history of chocolate slowly settling over time, your mind may settle too, very naturally, very gently, very slowly, until only a quiet deep enough for sleep remains. Part 15. Industrial development. There was a time in routine, history, when chocolate was no longer only part of ancient rituals or elegant rooms, but began to enter the lives of many more people. Small inventions, quiet machines slowly changed the way people experienced this flavor. And from that point on, chocolate became a familiar part of daily life, no longer rare or distant, but close and simple. One of the great changes was the creation of the cocoa press. When cacao beans were pressed, the fat was separated, and what remained became cocoa powder, something that could be mixed into warm milk, into cakes, into comforting foods. Because of that machine, chocolate was no longer limited to one form. It could become smoother, lighter, easier to use. Carl Jung once said that when people create tools, they do not only change the outer world, but also the way they feel the inner world. The changes in making chocolate were like that. Not only a technical step forward, but an expansion of experience. Chocolate was no longer only for a few. It became part of the kitchen, part of the morning, part of quiet moments of rest. Then powdered milk appeared, and from that milk, chocolate was born. Softer, sweeter, easier to approach, a gentle flavor that many could love from the first taste. The milk softened the cacao like a layer of warmth surrounding it. Jung once said that people always seek warmth in life. Not only physical warmth, but the feeling of closeness, of safety. Milk chocolate in a quiet way brings that feeling. It is not too deep, not too strong. It is simply comforting. As industrialization began, chocolate was no longer made entirely by hand. Slow, steady production lines created chocolate bars that were smoother, shinier, and could reach more people. The price changed, the shape changed, the texture changed, but what it gave still remained. A small bar in the hand, a sweetness melting slowly, a moment of pause. Jung once said that the outer world can change greatly, but the deeper needs within people remain the same. People still need moments of rest, still need things that bring warmth, still need reminders that life has gentle parts. Industrialization did not take meaning away from chocolate. It simply allowed that meaning to spread. More people could enjoy it. More homes could keep a bar in the kitchen. More evenings could end with a soft sweetness. There is a quiet peace in that. Machines may run constantly, creating bars that look the same, but each person who holds one has a different experience. One might eat it on a rainy afternoon, another during a moment of rest after a long day. Jung believed that the same symbol can carry many meanings depending on who feels it. Chocolate can be food, a memory, a comfort, a small habit. As you listen tonight, you may remember times you have held a piece of chocolate, perhaps long ago, perhaps recently, and in that memory there may be a gentle feeling, a quiet evening, a moment of rest, a sweetness, melting slowly. Industrialization made it easier for chocolate to be part of moments like these. No longer rare, no longer distant, just something simple we can reach. Jung once said that peace does not always come from big things. Sometimes it comes from small things repeated many times. A familiar habit, a familiar taste, a familiar feeling. Modern chocolate has become part of those repetitions. A morning, an afternoon, an evening before sleep. It does not need to be special, just present. And perhaps when things become familiar, the mind begins to relax. No need to pay too much attention. No need to think too much. Only a gentle, warm, steady feeling. Like the slow rhythm of machines creating each bar, your body is also moving into a steady rhythm. Breath in, breath out, heartbeat slowing, thoughts drifting farther away. There is nothing to do, nothing to hold, only a slow current carrying you away from the busyness of the day. Jung believed that when people repeat familiar things, they feel safe. And when they feel safe, they can let go. No need to guard, no need to stay tense. Modern chocolate, shaped by machines, may look the same, but the feeling it brings, warmth, softness, familiarity, is something the soul recognizes quickly. And when the soul recognizes something familiar, it begins to soften. Breathing slows. The body feels heavier. Thoughts move farther away. Like a production line slowly coming to rest, your mind is moving into a gentle, even rhythm. And in that rhythm, like a process repeated many times, the body begins to understand that it is time to rest. No need to try, no need to think. Just let everything continue to slow. And when everything is slow enough, soft enough, familiar enough, sleep may come closer, like a natural part of that rhythm. And when we think a little more deeply about this industrial development, we may notice that what changed was not only how chocolate was made, but also how people touched the familiar things in life. Long ago, having chocolate was a long journey, but with quiet machines working steadily, it became something easy to find. A small bar on a shelf, a cup of hot cocoa in the kitchen, a sweet after dinner. Very simple things, yet carrying warmth. Carl Jung once said that the things repeated in life can become deep sources of comfort. When we know that some things are always there, always familiar, the mind begins to feel safer. And in that safety, people can relax. Industrialization, in a quiet way, made chocolate part of those repetitions. No longer distant, just a small familiar habit. Someone may make a cup of cocoa every evening. Someone may keep a bar in a drawer. Someone may remember the taste as part of childhood. All very small things. Yet Jung believed it is the small familiar things that touch the deepest parts of the soul. Machines may run steadily all day, each bar formed, each layer smoothed, each mold filled, a rhythm that is slow, even repeated. And there is something very similar to the rhythm of the body preparing to rest. Breath in, breath out, heartbeat slowing, a gentle repetition. Jung once said that when people feel a steady rhythm, they begin to relax. Those rhythms remind us that everything is normal. Nothing to fear, nothing to guard against. Production lines moving in quiet steadiness can feel like a reminder that some things in life continue, remain stable, repeat gently. And perhaps in this quiet night, your body is also finding such a rhythm. Nothing to do, nothing more to think, just a slow repetition. Industrialization changed the texture of chocolate, made it smoother, more even, easier to melt. And in a subtle way, it made the experience easier. No long preparation, no long waiting. Just open it, just feel it. Jung believed that ease itself can be a gift. When something becomes gentle, people have more space to feel. Not rushing, not forcing. A small bar of chocolate may no longer carry ancient rituals, but it still carries a familiar feeling, the feeling of rest. And that feeling, simple as it is, still touches something deep. When things feel familiar, the mind lets go. No need to hold everything. No need to stay alert. The thoughts of today may still be there, but they are growing more distant, lighter, slower, like a production line gradually coming to a stop as night arrives. The light softens, the sounds fade, the space grows quiet, and your body follows that rhythm. Breathing steady, shoulders relaxed, the body growing heavier. Jung once said that when people feel held within a steady rhythm, they begin to trust that everything will be all right. And when that trust appears, the mind can rest. Just as chocolate is made in a steady rhythm, sleep also comes in a steady rhythm. Not suddenly, not in a rush. Little by little, the last thoughts are slowing, the last feelings softening. And in that slowing, like a process gently completed, you may feel yourself being guided into a very calm state. A familiar state where the body no longer needs to try. Just lie still. Just breathe slowly. And let the gentle rhythm of the night carry you farther into a soft, deep, quiet space where sleep is drawing near. Part 16. Agriculture, Society and Economy. When we hold a small bar of chocolate in our hands, we rarely think about the distant forests, the humid lands where cacao trees are quietly growing day by day. Yet behind that familiar flavor is a vast world where nature, people, and time are connected in a way that is slow and deeply real. Cacao is not an easy tree. It depends on climate, on rain, on soil, on seasons of sunlight and shifting winds. Just a small change in weather, a wave of pests, or a rainy season arriving late can alter everything. Carl Jung once said that human beings are never separate from nature, even if we sometimes forget. Everything we touch, everything we use begins somewhere far away, deep within the natural world. Cacao is a quiet reminder of that connection. It grows in the shade of tropical forests, where the light is gentle, where the soil remains moist and the air carries the presence of water. The farmers who care for cacao trees often work slowly. They watch the color of the leaves. They wait for the fruit to ripen. They harvest each pod by hand. There is nothing rushed, nothing loud, only a rhythm that repeats with the seasons. Millions of families around the world live alongside these cacao trees, small gardens, small pieces of land, yet filled with hope. Each harvest is a time of waiting, a time of hoping the weather will be kind, that pests will be few, that the work of a whole year will be rewarded. Jung believed that people find meaning in what they care for. When someone plants a tree, they are not only planting a tree, they place into it their time, their patience, and a part of their life. Cacao trees, in a quiet way, have become part of the lives of many. In the morning, they go to the garden. At noon, they rest under the trees. In the afternoon, they continue their work. A very slow rhythm, very steady, very real. And from those small gardens, the cacao beans begin a long journey. They are harvested, fermented, dried, carried across many lands, and finally they become the chocolate we see in bright shops. There is a deep connection in that journey. A small bar of chocolate may have passed through many hands: farmers, processors, transporters, those who shape the final product. Each person contributes a very small part, yet together they create something whole. Jung once said that people often forget how deeply connected they are to one another. Yet many of the things we touch each day are the result of quiet cooperation. Chocolate is one clear example. Behind that connection, there are also very real stories. Prices change with the market. Harvests are sometimes good, sometimes not. Some families depend entirely on cacao, and each season carries both hope and worry. That is why stories about origin fairness and the way people treat one another in the growing and trading of cacao matter, not in a loud way, but in a quiet way. Like a gentle reminder that behind everything we use, there are real people, real lives. Jung believed that when we become aware of others within the smallest things, our hearts soften. We begin to feel that we are part of something wider, not living only for ourselves, but connected to many other lives. A small bar of chocolate in this way is not only food. It is the result of soil, of rain, of sunlight, of care, of time, and of people living very real lives somewhere in the world. As you listen tonight, you may imagine quiet cacao gardens. No city noise, only the soft sound of leaves, slow footsteps, the gentle hum of insects, a rhythm very different, very slow, very steady. Jung once said that deep within people long to return to simplicity, not to go back to the past, but to reconnect with what is natural, to feel close to the earth, close to trees, close to a rhythm that does not rush. Cacao, in a gentle way, carries that feeling. It begins from a tree, from a piece of land, from a family somewhere caring for each fruit. And then, through a long journey, it reaches you. When we think about that, the mind begins to slow. We no longer see only a bar of chocolate. We begin to sense the long path behind it, a path that is patient, quiet, and filled with time. And within that image, there is a peaceful feeling. Farmers waking early, caring for the garden, waiting for the season, everything moving with time. Not rushed, not hurried, just like your body now. You're breathing slower, your shoulders more relaxed, your heartbeat more even, as if you are returning to a natural rhythm, a rhythm not pushed, a rhythm like the way a cacao tree grows little by little, day by day. Jung believed that when people feel themselves part of nature, they begin to feel calmer, no longer feeling they must rush, no longer feeling they must hold everything in their minds, only a gentle sense of being. And in that gentleness, thoughts begin to move farther away. Worries soften, like a forest in the evening when everything slowly grows quiet. You may imagine cacao trees standing still in the night, not moving, not rushing, simply existing. And your body is learning that stillness again. Nothing to do, nothing more to think. Just relax, like the earth holding the roots, like the shade covering the leaves. A quiet calm, slowly spreading. And in that calm, very slowly, very gently, you may begin to feel yourself being guided into a deeper, softer place, where everything becomes still, and sleep can come closer, like a natural part of a long journey that began with a small seed in the soil. And as we stay a little longer with the image of those gardens, we may begin to feel a special kind of stillness in their rhythm. Unlike the city with its lights and sounds, life around cacao trees follows slow cycles. The rainy season, the sunny season, the blooming, the fruiting, the ripening. Carl Jung once said that deep within people still belong to nature. Even when living among busy streets, the mind carries ancient memories of soil, of trees, of a life that moves without hurry. Perhaps that is why when we think of those distant gardens, the mind begins to soften. Farmers walk slowly between the rows of trees. Sunlight filters through the leaves. The air is warm and moist. No urgency, no pressure. Only daily work repeated through seasons. A ripe fruit picked, a batch of beans dried in the sun, one small step following another. Jung believed that repetition can bring a sense of safety. When something happens steadily, the mind begins to relax. No longer needing to stay alert, no longer needing to adapt all the time. Families who live by cacao follow these rhythms. They wait for harvest, care for trees when it rains, rest as the day fades. Life is not always easy, but it is tied to what is real close to the earth. There is a quiet endurance in those lives. And when we know that a small bar of chocolate carries the effort of many people many days, we begin to feel a gentle connection. Not a grand thought, just a faint sense that we are not separate from this world. A tree grows, someone cares for it, a bean is harvested, a journey begins, everything unfolds slowly. Jung once said that when people feel connected, they feel less alone. And when they feel less alone, the mind can rest more easily, no longer needing to hold everything by itself. As you lie in this quiet night, you may imagine that somewhere far away, cacao gardens still exist in silence, trees standing still, the earth holding the roots, nothing rushed, nothing changing too quickly, a very steady feeling. And your body is finding that steadiness too, breathing slower, shoulders softer, thoughts becoming fewer. Like the repeating cycles of harvest, sleep also follows a natural rhythm. It does not come all at once. It arrives slowly, little by little, gently, like the way a tree grows. Nothing to force, nothing to push. Jung believed that when we allow ourselves to return to a natural rhythm, the body knows what to do. Just as a cacao tree does not think about how to grow, it simply needs soil, water, and time. You are the same. Just relax. Just be still. And in that stillness, like a forest at night, everything begins to settle. No more noise, no more movement, only a deep, soft space. The last thoughts may be fading. The feelings of the day may be softening. Like the last light of day falling between rows of cacao trees very slowly, very gently, and then disappearing. And when everything is quiet enough, slow enough, soft enough, your body begins to know that it is time to rest. No need to think more. No need to do anything more. Just let yourself drift with the gentle peace spreading, deeper, slower, until sleep comes closer, like a natural part of a long rhythm that began from the earth, from trees, and from the simplest things. Part 17, Climate Change and the Future of Cacao. There is a quiet truth unfolding in the world of cacao, a change that is not loud, yet deeply felt. Lands once familiar to cacao trees are slowly shifting with time. Temperatures rise slightly. Rain comes earlier or later. Some years bring too much water, other years too little. And these small changes, repeating across seasons, begin to affect how cacao trees grow. Carl Jung once said that people often notice change only when it becomes obvious. But nature changes in ways that are slow and gentle, sometimes so subtle that we do not see. A longer dry season, a different rainy season, and over many years, everything becomes different. The cacao tree is sensitive. It needs balance. Not too hot, not too cold, not too dry, not too wet. It grows best in shaded forests, where everything follows a natural rhythm. But as the climate changes, that rhythm begins to shift. In some places, the soil no longer holds moisture as it once did. In others, pests appear more often. Farmers who have cared for cacao trees for many years begin to notice that things are not the same. There is something familiar in this. Jung believed that life is always changing, and people must learn to adapt, not by resisting, but by listening and adjusting. Nature is the same. It never stands still. It always moves. And in that movement, people begin to find ways to help cacao adapt. Scientists work quietly, studying new varieties that can withstand heat, varieties that can resist pests, varieties that can live in new conditions. There is something hopeful in that image. People are not only planting trees, they are learning to care for them in new ways. They listen to the soil, listen to the weather, listen to small changes. Jung once said that life always finds a way to continue. Even when conditions change, even when things are no longer the same, there is always a quiet movement forward. Trees adapt, people adapt, and the world keeps moving. New cacao varieties are created not to replace the old ones completely, but to protect the future, to keep the journey of cacao unbroken, to ensure the gardens remain year after year. Alongside this, something very important continues: preserving diversity. Each type of cacao carries its own character, its own flavor, its own way of surviving in a particular place. And when we keep that diversity, we keep possibilities for the future. Jung believed that the human soul holds diversity in the same way. Many different parts, many different feelings. And it is that diversity that helps us adapt, helps us grow, helps us continue. If there were only one part, we would become fragile. But with many parts, we can change, learn, and keep moving, even when circumstances shift. Cacao is the same. Some varieties grow well in higher lands. Some prefer humid places. Some are stronger against pests. Each one is a possibility, a direction, a hope. As you listen tonight, you may feel a gentle movement of time. The world does not stand still. Forests change. Seasons change. Yet there are still people quietly finding ways to help cacao continue to live. There is a deep patience in that. Jung once said that life always wants to continue, and deep inside, people are the same. Even through change, even through worry, there is always a part within us that tries to hold on to what matters. Like those preserving cacao varieties, our souls also hold on to what is precious. Memories, feelings, moments that once brought warmth, all still there deep inside. And when we think of the future of cacao, we are not only thinking of a tree, we are thinking of gardens that will remain, families that will continue working, harvests that will go on. A very long current, very slow, very steady. Jung believed that when people sense that steadiness, they begin to feel calm, not because everything will always be easy, but because life continues. There is always a way to adapt, always a direction forward. As you lie in this quiet night, you may imagine cacao forests breathing softly, leaves moving gently, nothing rushed, nothing tense, only a natural presence. And your body is finding that rhythm too, breathing slower, thoughts growing fewer, shoulders more relaxed. Like cacao trees adapting to new seasons, your body is adapting to the stillness of night. Nothing to do, nothing to think ahead about, just remain here. Jung once said that when people accept change as part of life, they feel lighter, no longer trying to keep everything the same, no longer fearing what has not yet come, only a gentle trust that things will find a way to continue. Like cacao trees still growing even as the weather shifts. Like gardens still standing even as the seasons change. A continuation that is slow, steady, quiet. And as you let that image rest in your mind, you may feel a gentle peace spreading, as if everything is being held, as if nothing needs to hurry. The thoughts of today are moving farther away. Worries are growing lighter. Like leaves swaying quietly in the night wind, everything becomes softer, slower. And in that slowing, your body begins to know it is time to rest. No need to try. No need to stay awake. Just relax. And if you relax long enough, like a forest after rain, the space becomes deeper and quieter. A stillness wide enough for you to drift into, gently, slowly, like a natural part of a current that continues far and deep and soft. And as we think more about the future of cacao, we may feel a quiet truth. The world always changes, but life always finds a way to continue. Forests may shift, temperatures may warm, rain may arrive later, but somewhere new seeds are still being planted in the soil. Carl Jung once said that deep within, people carry an instinct to adapt. Even without noticing, we adjust. We learn to live in new circumstances. Nature is the same. New cacao varieties are being developed not to erase the old ones, but to help the trees continue in a changing world. There is a quiet care in that work. Scientists observing each leaf, farmers trying new plants, gardens changing slowly year by year. Nothing happens quickly. Everything takes time. Jung believed that what is truly lasting grows slowly. Like a tree that needs years to grow, deep change also needs time. And within that slowness, there is a calm feeling. Preserving the diversity of cacao is like preserving memories. Each variety carries a story, a flavor, a way of living. And by keeping them, we keep possibilities for tomorrow. The human soul is the same. Jung said each memory, each feeling is part of the diversity within us. And it is this diversity that helps us stand strong through change. There are joyful days. There are tired days. There are quiet days, each one part of life. Cacao trees also live through seasons like these. Some seasons bring many fruits. Some bring fewer. Sometimes the weather is kind. Sometimes not. Yet the trees remain. They grow. They continue. As you think of this tonight, you may feel a gentle steadiness, as if life always finds a way forward even when things change. No need to hurry. No need to worry about faraway things. Just stay in this moment. Imagine a cacao forest at night. No sunlight. No daytime noise. Only soft moisture in the air and still leaves. A deep quiet covering everything. Jung believed that when people imagine nature, the mind slows. Because nature does not rush. It does not push. It does not demand. It simply exists in its own rhythm. And your body is beginning to follow that rhythm. Your breath more even. Your shoulders softer. The last thoughts slowly fading. Like gentle rain soaking into the soil, everything is settling. The future of cacao is still being written, day by day, season by season. No one knows exactly how it will change, but there are still people caring for it, still seeds being planted, still forests breathing. A current that is long, steady, quiet. And within that current, you do not need to do anything. No need to think of tomorrow. No need to hold on to today. Just relax. Like a cacao tree standing quietly in the night, you can let your body rest. No need to try to sleep. No need to force stillness. Just allow everything to be natural. Jung once said that sleep comes when the mind feels safe. And that sense of safety sometimes comes from simple images. a forest, a tree, a slow rhythm of life. Let the image of quiet cacao gardens remain in your mind. Rows of trees standing still, a soft breeze, nothing rushed. And in that calm, your body may begin to sink deeper into quiet, lighter, slower, the last thoughts drifting away, the last feelings softening, leaving only a space that is soft, deep, and warm, where you can let yourself drift, very slowly, very gently, until sleep comes closer, like a natural continuation of every rhythm settling into rest. Part 18. Chocolate in modern life. In the modern world, chocolate is no longer only a sweet kept in small boxes or a bar opened when we want a little comfort. It has quietly moved beyond its first role and entered many corners of human life. A familiar taste, a gentle fragrance, a warm sensation, all becoming part of many experiences, many habits, and many memories we may not even notice. Carl Jung once said that some symbols follow people through different stages of life-changing form but keeping their core feeling. Chocolate, in a gentle way, has become such a symbol. It no longer exists only in a cup of hot cacao or a small candy bar. It appears in cosmetics, in body care, in warm drinks, in baked goods, and even in fragrances created to evoke a soft sense of comfort. In cosmetics, cocoa butter is used to care for the skin, a smooth cream carrying a light, warm scent. When applied, it is not only a physical act of care, but also a moment of slowing down, a quiet kindness toward oneself. Jung believed that when people care for their bodies, they are also caring for their souls. Small actions repeated each day can become quiet rituals. A bit of cream, a familiar scent, a soft feeling on the skin. No need to think, no need to rush, only a gentle softness. In medicine and science, chocolate has also been studied as something that can bring a sense of comfort, not in a loud or exaggerated way, but quietly. People noticed that small compounds in cacao can affect the body in subtle ways. A light sense of alertness, a gentle warmth spreading. But perhaps what matters more is how people feel it. Jung said that the mind and body are always connected. A familiar scent can bring back a place. A sweetness can recall a peaceful moment. Chocolate in this way is not only a substance, it is an experience. In quiet cafes, people drink hot cacao in the evening. In kitchens, chocolate melts into cakes. On cold days, a drink with cacao can bring a very real warmth. And something else is interesting: the scent of chocolate is recreated in perfumes, a fragrance that cannot be tasted yet still feels familiar. When someone catches a trace of chocolate in the air, they may remember something distant: an afternoon, a kitchen, a moment of rest. Jung believed that scent is one of the fastest paths to memory. It does not pass through reasoning. It goes straight into feeling. And so the scent of chocolate can soothe the mind without needing explanation. Perhaps you have smelled chocolate in a shop, or in a perfume, or in a room where someone had been baking. And in that moment, you may have felt something familiar. Not a clear thought, just a warm feeling. In the modern world, chocolate has moved beyond its original form. It has become part of many sensory experiences: taste, scent, touch on the skin. It appears in many places, yet always carries the same gentle quality. Jung once said that some things endure because they touch the deepest part of the soul. Not because they are strong, but because they are familiar, close, comforting. Chocolate is one of those things. It may be a small candy bar, a body cream, a passing fragrance, a warm drink, but in any form it carries a similar feeling, a soft feeling, a warm feeling, a sense of comfort. As you lie in this quiet night, you may remember the scent of chocolate from some time, perhaps long ago, perhaps recently. No need to remember clearly. Just allow the feeling to return. Jung believed that gentle memories can help the mind relax. Not because they make us forget everything, but because they remind us that there have been peaceful moments. A warm evening, a cake just out of the oven, a soft scent in the air, small things. And as we remember such moments, the body responds slowly. Breathing becomes gentler, shoulders soften, thoughts no longer move as quickly. Like the scent of chocolate spreading softly in the air, everything begins to soften. Nothing to do, nothing more to think, only a gentle feeling present. In modern life, chocolate appears in many places, but perhaps what matters most is not where it is, but the feeling it brings. A familiar feeling, a warm feeling, a sense of slowing down. And that feeling, Jung believed, helps people return to stillness. Not by trying, but by remembering what makes them feel safe. As you let these images remain in your mind, you may feel a very soft warmth spreading, like a gentle layer surrounding you. The thoughts of today drifting farther away, the sounds outside growing quieter, only a soft space remaining. And within that space, like a familiar scent moving through the air, your mind may begin to sink deeper into stillness, slower, softer, until everything becomes gentle enough, soft enough, quiet enough for sleep to come closer, naturally, lightly, like the faint scent of chocolate passing through the night. And as we think more deeply about how chocolate appears in modern life, we may notice that it no longer exists only as an object, but as a feeling spread widely. A soft scent in a shop, a smooth cream on the skin, a warm drink in the evening. And in any form, it carries the same gentle comfort. Carl Jung once said that some symbols stay with people throughout life without being noticed. They appear in small moments, repeated many times, until they become part of feeling. Chocolate may be one of those symbols, not because it is extraordinary, but because it appears in private, quiet moments. Someone using a cocoa-scented cream before sleep. Someone drinking a cup of hot cacao on cold days. Someone stepping into a shop and catching a soft scent of chocolate. Very small moments. Yet, they can bring peace quickly. Jung believed that the mind responds strongly to what is familiar. A scent, a texture, a sweetness can become a signal that it is time to rest, that everything is safe, that there is no need to be tense. So chocolate is no longer only food. It becomes part of gentle habits, part of small personal rituals, a way for the body to recognize that life is slowing down. On quiet evenings, someone makes a cup of hot cacao, not from hunger, not for energy, just for the warmth, the feeling of holding a warm cup, the soft scent rising. Small things like this can calm the body without effort. Jung once said that gentle repetition helps the mind return to balance. No need for anything large, just familiar moments. A scent, a soft feeling, a light sweetness, all can become signals that it is time to rest. When chocolate appears in perfumes, in cosmetics, in things that cannot be eaten, it still carries the same feeling. That is something special. It means not only taste, but scent, touch, and memory can feel it. A faint scent of chocolate might remind someone of a kitchen, an afternoon, someone who once stood nearby. Memories not clear but warm. Jung believed that gentle memories live deep within the mind, and sometimes just a small signal brings them back, quietly, softly, like something familiar. When that feeling appears, the body begins to relax. The heartbeat slows. The shoulders grow lighter, thoughts drift away. Like a soft scent of chocolate spreading through the air, everything becomes calmer. You may imagine a very quiet room. Soft light, no loud sounds. Only a faint, familiar scent, as if someone has just made a warm cup of cacao. Nothing to do, nothing to think, only warmth. Jung once said that when people feel safe, they naturally relax. And when the body relaxes, sleep arrives without being called. Chocolate in modern life may no longer carry ancient rituals, but it still carries something very important, a sense of safety, a sense of care, a sense of rest. And perhaps that is why it still appears in so many places, not because it is necessary, but because it brings something the soul recognizes quickly, a gentle warmth, a familiar softness. As you lie quietly now, you may imagine a faint scent of chocolate slowly filling the space. Not strong, not clear, just a soft presence. Your breathing may be steadier, your body a little heavier. The last thoughts fading, everything slowing. Like a scent dissolving into the air, worries are dissolving too. No need to push them away, no need to hold them. Just let them drift. And in that gentle drifting, you may begin to feel a deep space opening. A place without noise, without bright light, only a very soft stillness. And in that stillness, very slowly, very gently, you can let yourself drift along with that familiar warmth until sleep comes closer, like the faint scent of chocolate passing quietly through the night. Part 19. A sensory experience. Listening, smelling, melting. There are experiences in life that do not happen in a rush. They do not arrive and disappear at once, but unfold in layers slowly and gently, as if inviting us to pause a little longer to feel. Tasting a piece of chocolate in its quietest form is such an experience. Not only sweetness, but a small journey through the senses, from scent to touch to sound, and then slowly dissolving into silence. Carl Jung once said that people truly live when they become aware of what they are feeling, not when they hurry, but when they pause. When we notice a scent, when we touch something, when we hear a very soft sound, those moments can become small doorways into a deep sense of presence. A small bar of chocolate may begin with its scent. Before tasting, we have already felt it. The aroma of cacao is gentle, slightly warm, slightly deep. It does not need to be strong. It quietly spreads just enough to awaken something familiar in memory. Jung believed that scent has its own path into the soul. It does not need explanation. It does not need analysis. It simply appears, and we feel it. It may be the memory of a quiet evening, a warm kitchen, or simply the feeling of being at ease. Then comes the sound. When a bar of chocolate is broken gently, there is a soft snap, a sound so small that many do not notice. But if we listen slowly, that sound brings a very particular feeling, a sense of clarity, a sense of completeness. That sound is like a sign that a moment is beginning. Jung once said that small sounds can help the mind return to the present. When we hear something delicate, we begin to notice. And when we notice, we pause, no longer chasing thoughts, no longer being carried away. Just a very short moment, but very real. Then comes the texture. When a piece of chocolate touches the hand, it may feel slightly cool, slightly firm. And when it touches the lips, it begins to soften. It does not melt at once. It melts slowly with the warmth of the body. There is a gentle slowness in this. It does not rush. It does not push. It simply dissolves. Jung believed that slow experiences help the mind relax. When things unfold gradually, the body has time to feel. No need to react quickly. No need to think too much. Just remain with the sensation. And as the chocolate melts, the scent spreads again, but this time closer, warmer, softer. A gentle feeling fills the mouth, then slowly fades. Nothing lasts forever. And yet in that fading, there is a quiet peace. Jung once said that every experience is like a wave. It comes, stays for a moment, and then leaves. And when we accept that rhythm, we begin to feel calmer. Each bar of chocolate in this way is like a small sensory story. It begins with a scent, continues with a sound, then a texture, and finally the melting away. A very short journey, but complete. As you think of this in the quiet night, you may imagine such an experience unfolding slowly. You do not need to have chocolate. Just imagine, smell, touch, listen, melt. Each step very gentle. Jung believed that when people focus on sensation, the mind slowly moves away from tension. It returns to the body, to the breath, to the present moment. And that is where peace begins. You may imagine a piece of chocolate melting very slowly. Nothing rushed, nothing to do, only a soft sensation spreading, like your thoughts now also slowly melting. No need to push them away, no need to hold them. Just let them dissolve, like a scent fading in the air, like a small sound settling into silence, like sweetness disappearing. Everything is slowing down. Jung once said that when people allow things to follow their natural rhythm, they begin to relax. And when the body relaxes, sleep comes closer. Your breathing may be deeper, your shoulders lighter, your thoughts less clear. Only a very soft feeling remains. Each bar of chocolate is a story of sensation, and every sensation has a quiet ending. When it dissolves, nothing remains but a faint trace. And perhaps sleep is like that. It does not come at once. It comes slowly, like something dissolving. The images in your mind may be fading, sounds moving farther away, feelings softening. Like a piece of chocolate melting in warmth, your mind is melting into quiet. There is nothing you need to hold on to. Just relax. Just allow everything to happen. And when every sensation has become slow enough, gentle enough, soft enough, you may begin to feel yourself drifting into a very deep and tender space. A place without sound, without hurry, only a deep stillness holding you, very slowly, very softly, like an experience dissolving, until sleep comes closer, closer, and then stays. And as we remain with this sensory experience a little longer, we may notice that what makes chocolate special is not only its taste, but the way it invites us to slow down. In a world where everything moves quickly, a moment of smelling, breaking, waiting for it to melt and feeling becomes a rare pause. Carl Jung once said that the moments when people truly live are the moments when they are fully present, not thinking about yesterday, not worrying about tomorrow, only being in the feeling of now. And a simple experience like tasting chocolate when felt slowly can become a small doorway back to that presence. Imagine a very quiet space. You hold a small bar of chocolate in your hand. You are not eating it yet, only smelling, a very gentle scent. Not strong, not sharp, just a warm feeling spreading. That scent may awaken something, not clear, perhaps a distant memory, an afternoon, a quiet room, but you do not need to remember exactly, only feel the familiarity appearing. Jung believed that emotional memories often have no clear images. They are only soft feelings passing through the mind, and those feelings make us feel safe. Then you gently break the chocolate. A soft sound appears, not loud, not sharp, just enough to remind you that a moment is happening. That sound is like a pause, a soft period in the stream of thought. And when you bring the chocolate closer, there is no need to hurry. You let it touch your lips, then melt. Slowly, there is a deep gentleness in that melting. It does not come all at once. It spreads little by little, a light sweetness, a passing scent, a soft texture. Jung once said that when people notice small changes, the mind begins to quiet. Because when we watch something dissolve, we also begin to let go of what we are holding inside. Like the chocolate, melting thoughts can melt too. No need to push them away. No need to try to forget. Just let them dissolve. You may imagine a piece of chocolate melting slowly in your mouth. No more shape, no more edges, only a soft, warm, faint feeling. And then that feeling fades. No taste, no scent, only a soft silence. Jung believed that such silences are important. They are like the space between two breaths, a place where the mind can rest. As you lie here now, you can let that image continue, a very slow experience. Smell, listen, touch, melt, and then disappear, like a very gentle wave. And when that wave fades, your body may feel a little lighter, shoulders softer, breath deeper, thoughts no longer sharp, only a faint sensation spreading. Like when a piece of chocolate has completely melted, the mind may be becoming more open. No need to hold anything, no need to do anything, just be still. Jung once said that sleep comes when the mind stops trying to control. When we allow everything to melt, everything to settle, the body knows how to rest. Imagine the last sensations melting like chocolate in warmth. The last thoughts fading, sounds growing distant, everything becoming slower, softer, gentler. And in that slowing like a sensory story gently ending, you may feel yourself drifting into a deep space. A place without sound, without bright light, only quiet, very slow, very gentle, very soft, like the last piece of chocolate dissolving into the night, leaving a silence deep enough, warm enough, for you to slowly sink into sleep. Part 20. Conclusion. A chocolate bar is an entire journey. When we look back at the whole journey of a small bar of chocolate, we may realize that it has never been only a simple treat. It is the result of many things coming together slowly, steadily, and quietly. From a small flower blooming in the forest, pollinated by tiny insects, to cacao fruits growing beneath the sun and rain through long seasons of waiting. From the hands of farmers through the stages of processing, roasting, grinding, and finally becoming a chocolate bar held in the hand. Carl Jung once said that some very small things contain an entire world within them. A symbol, if seen deeply, can carry history, nature, and human experience. Chocolate, in a gentle way, is such a symbol. A small bar, but within it is soil, rain, sunlight, time, the work of many people we have never met, seasons repeating, distant forests still breathing in silence. Jung believed that when people recognize the connection between small things and vast things, they begin to feel a deep peace, because they no longer feel separate from the world. They begin to see that everything is connected in ways that are slow and gentle. A small bar of chocolate is the result of nature, of trees growing day by day, of weather changing through seasons, of soil holding water, of light helping leaves stay green. It is also the result of science, different ways of roasting, methods of grinding, blending, smoothing, techniques that create softness and depth of flavor. And it is also the result of people, hands harvesting, people processing, people learning how to balance taste. All of it comes together slowly over many years to create something that seems so small. Jung once said that when we pause and look deeply into something simple, we can see an entire journey inside it. Not with our eyes, but with feeling. A chocolate bar is not only sweetness, it is memory, it is history, it is the patience of nature, it is the care of human hands. And perhaps that is why when we taste it, we feel something familiar, a warmth, a gentleness. As you lie in this quiet night, you may imagine that journey unfolding slowly. A small flower blooming, an insect passing by, a cacao fruit growing, a hand harvesting it, a long journey beginning. Nothing rushed, nothing happening all at once, everything needing time. Jung believed that slowness is a natural part of life, and when we accept that slowness, we begin to slow as well. Breathing slower, heartbeat slower, thoughts no longer racing. Like a cacao tree growing day by day, your body is entering a natural rhythm. A rhythm that needs no effort, a rhythm that is not pushed, only a gentle state of being. A small bar of chocolate carries history within it, but it does not tell that story with words. It tells it through sensation, through scent, through slow melting. And perhaps the human mind is the same. Inside each person are long stories, memories, feelings, things that have passed, but they do not need to appear all at once. They can settle, slow down, dissolve. Jung once said that when people allow things to settle, they begin to feel lighter. No need to hold every thought, no need to understand everything at once. Just relax. Imagine a bar of chocolate melting slowly. No more shape, no more edges, only a very soft sensation. And then that sensation fades, leaving a quiet space. That quiet space is deep, soft, still. As you let that image remain in your mind, you may feel your body relaxing a little more. Shoulders lighter, breath more even, the thoughts of today moving farther away. No need to hold them, no need to push them away. Just let them pass, like a journey already completed. Chocolate begins from a small flower, and after a very long journey, it becomes a small bar in someone's hand. Then it melts. Nothing remains but a faint trace. Sleep is like that too. It does not come at once. It comes slowly, like something dissolving. The images in your mind may be fading, sounds growing distant, feelings softening, everything becoming gentler. Jung believed that when the mind feels a journey has been completed, it naturally wants to rest. No need to force, no need to try. And now that journey is slowly closing. There is nothing more to think about, nothing more to hold, only a warm, gentle feeling like a bar of chocolate that has just melted away. And within that gentle warmth, you can let your body drift more slowly, more deeply, into a very quiet space. A place without sound, without hurry, only stillness. And in that stillness, very slow, very gentle, like a journey that has come to its end, you can let yourself sink into sleep. And as we remain with the image of a small chocolate bar a little longer, we may begin to sense something soft. Everything in life is the result of long journeys. Nothing appears at once. Nothing simply comes into being. Everything needs time to form, to grow, to become complete. Carl Jung once said that people often forget the depth within familiar things. We see something small and think it is simple, but if we look closely inside it, are many layers of time, many stories, many connections. A small bar of chocolate may begin from a tiny flower blooming in the shade of the forest. An insect passes carrying pollen. A small fruit forms, then grows through sunlight, through rain, through long days. Nothing rushed, only slow growth. Then the fruit is picked, the beans are taken, fermented, dried, roasted, ground. Each step following another like small movements along a long path. Jung believed that slow journeys bring depth, because they are not only results, they are processes. And when we realize that something has passed through many steps to reach the present, we begin to appreciate its existence in a gentle way. A bar of chocolate in that sense is like a story told through time. No words, no explanation. Just presence. And when it melts, the story closes quietly. No sound, no trace, only a faint aftertaste. Jung once said that some of the most beautiful things are those we do not try to hold. They come, stay for a moment, then leave. And in that leaving we feel peace, like a day ending, like light slowly fading, like a story gently closing. As you lie here now, you may imagine that you have just traveled a long journey, not by footsteps but by feeling, from a small flower, through time, through nature, through people, into a bar of chocolate, then melting away, a complete circle. Jung believed that when people feel something has been completed, the mind naturally wants to rest. Nothing left to continue, nothing left to hold, only a feeling of fullness, of quiet. And perhaps now your body is sensing that completion, breathing slower, body slightly heavier, the last thoughts drifting away. No need to try to sleep, no need to do anything more. Just let everything settle. Like a bar of chocolate melting slowly in warmth, the tensions of today are melting too. Worries no longer clear, images fading, only a quiet space remains. That quiet space is deep, soft, gentle. Jung once said that within silence the soul can rest, not emptiness but a peaceful fullness. Let that image remain a little longer, a journey completed, a story closed, a faint warmth remaining. No need to think more, no need to remember more, only a very soft presence. And in that softness your body may be drifting deeper into stillness, lighter, slower, gentler, like a forest after night has fully fallen. No movement, no light, only wide quiet, And in that quiet, very slowly, very gently, like a journey completed, you can let yourself drift along that softness, deeper, farther, until sleep comes close naturally, gently. And now, after we have traveled together through a long journey from the humid forests where cacao trees quietly grow, to the hands that harvest them, to the processes, the history, the science, the memories and the emotions, perhaps you can begin to feel that a small bar of chocolate is not only a simple, sweet, it is a journey that is slow, deep and quiet. Carl Jung once said that within the simplest things people can find the deepest symbols, a familiar scent, a warm feeling, a sweetness that melts slowly. All can become bridges, leading us back to the softest parts of the soul. Chocolate, in a gentle way, carries all of that. It begins from nature, from a small flower blooming in the shade, from insects passing by, from rain falling onto the earth, from quiet sunlight day after day. Then it passes through human hands, through care, through patience, through time, through careful processes, and finally, it becomes a small bar in modern life, something that may rest quietly in a kitchen, in a shop, in a familiar corner. But what matters is not its shape, it is the feeling it brings, a warm feeling, a gentle feeling, a slowing feeling. Jung believed that deep inside people are always searching for peace, not in grand things, but in very small moments. A deep breath, a soft sound, a familiar scent. The stories you have just listened to are not only about chocolate, they are about how everything in life is connected. Nature, people, time, memory, emotion. And perhaps when we see that connection, the mind begins to soften, no longer feeling the need to rush, no longer feeling the need to hold so many things inside. Only a gentle release. Let your body be still now. No need to force sleep. No need to try to think positively. Just breathe slowly. Breathing in, very gently. Breathing out, very slowly. Like a piece of chocolate melting in warmth, the thoughts of today are melting too. Unfinished things, small worries, remaining feelings, all slowly becoming softer. Jung once said that when people allow themselves to let go, the mind naturally returns to stillness. And in that stillness, sleep is not something we must search for. It simply arrives. You may imagine yourself lying in a very quiet space. No noise, no bright light, only a soft feeling like warmth surrounding you. Perhaps the feeling of a cup of hot cacao on a cold night. Perhaps a faint scent of chocolate. Perhaps only a distant, gentle memory. No need to remember clearly. Just feel. Your body may be a little heavier, your shoulders more relaxed, your heartbeat slower, everything moving into a steady, gentle rhythm. Just as cacao's journey takes many years before becoming chocolate, sleep is also a slow journey. It comes little by little, without force. You only need to remain still. The images in your mind may be fading, the sounds growing distant, thoughts drifting away. Only a very soft space remains. And within that space, you can let yourself drift. No need to control, no need to stay awake, only a feeling guiding you deeper into quiet. If these gentle stories help you feel relaxed, if you enjoy this sense of slowing down each night, you may subscribe to continue traveling with other quiet journeys. Small, gentle stories told to help your mind rest after a long day. Each time you return, there will be another story, another journey, another calm feeling to listen to before sleep. And now, as everything has slowed, as your breath has become steady, as your body has softened, you can let your eyes rest. There is nothing more to think about, just sleep. Wishing you a very deep, very gentle, and very peaceful night's sleep.